Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Twisted Tragedies, where we follow all the twists and turns wherever they lead. And this morning, they are leading. So we have some incoming information, some incoming news about a few things that are going a little cuckoo on this beautiful Saturday. I figured since you guys have been so good to me lately, I would pop on a Saturday, which I don't usually do Saturdays, but I wanted to sort of give back, and I'm kind of glad I did because there's just some shit going down right now. Like there is some shit going down right now. I'm gonna give everybody a few minutes to pop in because this is not a normal time for me to be live at all. So it may take people a few minutes, hey Otter, to realize that I am here, that I am actually live right now. I did put it in Discord, so hopefully at least the people in Discord see that we're here because this is a doozy. We just for first of all, X is a cesspool. Like let's just throw that out there. It's an absolute fucking cesspool filled with bullies and very mentally unwell people. I try not to use X for a multitude of reasons, but I do because I have people that contact me there, and so obviously I have to. But I try to stay away from like the just bullshit, just the straight bullshit. It's people accusing one another. It's like this finger pointing, you're an asshole, you're a bad person, go get a job. Like these people have no idea what they're talking about. They're just like saying shit to say it, right? Like FYI, FKR, Aiden hasn't had a job since 2014. So if you want to talk about jobs, like, maybe you talk to your leader. Okay? Just talk to your leader. So here's a doozy for you guys. Currently this morning, Aiden has been attacking Video Jesus. Basically saying she's a fraud and what companies has she worked for. Basically trying to get her to dox herself. It is, Amy. It's so toxic. It's literally, I've thought about that too. And Clapper. Has anybody heard of Clapper? I've thought about maybe doing Blue Sky and Clapper. I just don't want to. I obviously would have to keep my ex open for a multitude of reasons, but I choose not to go there a lot. I don't like it. It's not. So yeah. So he is attacking Video Jesus at the moment, calling her a fraud. Here's the thing. This is what he does. This is what he does. He gets upset if anybody puts anything out before him or has information he doesn't have, and then he attacks. Or maybe you know something about him you shouldn't, and then he attacks with his multitude of bullshit. I have no doubt that Video Jesus has a background in videos, production, whatever, right? I think she lists off like what she does, right? I have no doubt that she has that experience. You don't have to go to school for 25 years to have experience or study something. That's ridiculous, like I was saying yesterday, it's like geologists, they continue to study rocks, okay, after school. Like they don't have to go to school in their entire life to study rocks. That's just not how it works. And when you have the experience as well on top of it, it's like, come on. I have no doubt that this girl has, have the experience in whatever it is with, videos and editing and whatever, right? The first time I ever edited a video was my intro right there that you guys just saw. The second time I ever edited a video was my outro. That is the list of me editing videos. That's it. And I think I did a pretty good job with my intro and outro. I think it's pretty good compared to someone who's never done it before, right? Never done it before. My first try was the intro, and that took me a little bit. And then the outro was a little easier because I knew what I was doing at that point with that software. But I have no doubt that the person knows how to edit software, right? But as we speak, he is attacking, calling her a fraud, a fake, a liar, all the same things he does to pretty much anyone. Mostly women. Let's just throw that out there. It's mostly women, if you noticed. He's a woman hater. He's a woman hater. He does not like when people tell him about other people they like, especially if it's a woman. He gets very upset, very angry. He gets very angry, very, very upset. So yeah, they did. So here's, yep, then yep. And I'm like, dude, have you guys not learned from what you guys haven't learned, have you? Like, you haven't learned a goddamn thing. He doesn't give a shit about a single one of you. If he feels threatened, his ego feels threatened, he will attack. And it doesn't matter how many lies he has to spew to make his mob attack you. That is what will happen. It doesn't matter how many times you show that he is wrong. It doesn't matter. The mob will just tell you it's fake, it's a lie, it's doctored. So I have to feel really for anyone that goes through that. But at the same time, did you not learn from anyone else? Did you not learn from anyone else? Did you not learn from the shit that he does to literally everyone? Everything he touches turns to shit. To shit. And how the mob has not figured out that this is the way it works, I will never know. I don't. It's just like they have these giant blinders on, right? Blinders, blinders, blinders. What is happening? So, okay. So I am okay. Hold on. So also he posted of an account that had almost no followers. It had a few followers, but nothing that anyone really would have seen. It's a post saying that person was a juror yesterday, and they tagged the Dedham Superior Court, right? And it is a picture of the back of the heads of some jurors in the pool, right? He reposts this, right? Mind you, that account has almost no friends. Nobody would have ever effing seen it, okay? He reposts it. That is a violation of the order. Whether you are reposting something someone posted or not, you are now disseminating that information about the jurors. And we have pictures of the back of their heads. Hey, Dedham Superior, we warned you about these people. You need to be more on top of it. Maybe they need to be not allowed to have their phones. It's that simple. I know in Quincy District Court, they don't allow you to bring your phone as a juror. You get a book. You want to bring a book, bring a fucking book, but you don't get your phone for a multitude of reasons. And that's one of the courthouses that actually allows you to bring your phones in. Some courts don't allow you to bring your phone at all. But that court does. So, but for the jurors, at least this was, I don't know what they do now, but this was years ago. They did not allow the jurors to bring their phones in. It was you could bring a book or a magazine or something to keep yourself busy for reading, but you could not bring your phone. And this is why. Yes. I mean, Amy, that makes more sense, right? Not to allow it. This is, if they didn't think these people were going to go above and beyond with the shit they did, I don't know what world they've been living in for almost 3 years. Hello, this is what we're dealing with. Hello, the ridiculous argument, right? Morning, snow remover. The ridiculous argument that they made in federal court yesterday. Randanza made in federal court yesterday. And then I have people who are morons tagging me and putting my comment up of what the federal court's probably just as perplexed as everyone else is, right? What? They posted it, right? And they were like, I don't know what law she's studying, but what does she think higher courts are for? Hey, dum-dum. Hey, dum-dum. The appropriate place to have had that heard first would have been state court. That's what you should have done first. That federal court judge has no jurisdiction to change Cannone's order. You would go to state court first, and then you would appeal. You absolute fucking genius. It's bro, are you guys serious? The federal court is not going to change the buffer zone, okay? They can't. They don't have that kind of power to do that. It is Judge Cannone's court. Why didn't you address it in state court like you should have? I mean, come on. This is not hard shit to figure out, people. But it's it's consistent with them, right? It's consistent. They take a comment that you wrote, right? And they post it and they go, oh, what an idiot. when they have absolutely zero idea what the fuck they're talking about, therefore making themselves look like fools and morons to anybody who just knows what the fuck they actually are talking about. Like, dude, state court would have been the proper place to bring that, not federal court. And I think at one point, even the judge asked, like, or no, it was the Commonwealth, I think, that was like, why didn't you bring this to state? I mean, the Commonwealth was like, why didn't they bring this to state court first? Like, why? Why would they bring it here? And I think at one point, the judge even said, the federal judge even said, like, I don't think I have the power to do that, dude. Like, the argument was what? You don't like the buffer zone? First Amendment, rah, rah, rah. The First Amendment's not absolute. They have to run a court and a fair trial, not for just Karen, but for every other person having a trial in that court. You guys can't be in the grass next to the courthouse screaming, rah, rah, sis, boom, bah, help this killer win. Like, so the federal court was probably laughing when they got off the bench. That judge was probably like, are these people fucking idiots, bro? Like, I have no power to change this fucking buffer zone, dude. None. And I think they can't, the Commonwealth, even the Commonwealth, like in the federal court, can't sit there and say, like, you know, they know exactly why, every reason that Judge Cannone made it. Like, you'd have to ask Judge Cannone, like, therefore going through the state court first and asking them to change it, in which it would obviously be denied, and then you would move up. It's not hard for people to look things up or to learn or educate. It's just like they don't want to. Like, so yes, we're just, yeah, he reposted this photo, right, of the back of the jurors' heads. I'm not going to show it because it's a violation of the order, right? Like, it is embarrassing. It's so embarrassing, Amy. I don't understand how they're not embarrassed at this point. But yeah, he reposted this. You know, I think some other people did too, but like, he reposted it and was like, the court needs to be more careful, blah, blah, blah. And FYI, the only reason he's even saying that is because, like, he didn't post it. Like, let's get real here. The court does need to be more careful. They absolutely should not allow from now on anybody to bring their cellular device in. And this is exactly why. Bring a fucking book and a magazine like Quincy Court used to do. I don't know if they still do, but that's what they used to do. And that's where I've sat in on so many cases over there in that court. And Judge Coven does not put up with that shit. Judge Moriarty, she used to fill up them party buses full of people who just owed fines. Like, she was not fucking playing, like, not even a little bit. Like, so to me, I'm used to seeing judges that would sort of stop this kind of behavior right where it stands. And we haven't seen that really with Judge Cannone. She's kind of put up with quite a bit. And I'm not really understanding if it's more that she's afraid of the appeals, or is it more because she is like giving them more rope to hang themselves? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But I really hope that whatever it is she's thinking, that sooner than later, she, you know, drops the gavel, for lack of a better term, on them, because this is out of hand. This is absolutely fucking out of hand. We have people trying to sneak onto the jury. We have people taking pictures of the jury. We have this idiot reposting it. Like, that's a violation of the order. You are media, right? You have press credentials. Like, sorry, not sorry, dude. You cannot repost something and then expect like that's not going to be a violation of the order as well. It is. It is describing the jurors in any way, shape, or form. Most people would not have seen it if you didn't post it. So come on. It's baffling to me that these people have no real understanding of the law or the rules of procedure. Like, really none of it. Like, I commented on that. I don't know if it was an attorney. It was a media person, I think, that was covering the federal court hearing yesterday. And I was commenting on it. And you should have seen the amount of comments from these people that were like, you don't have to have media credentials to be media. Well, you do in this state. In this state, you have to have media credentials. Otherwise, why isn't any content creator like myself allowed to just walk into the court and cover it and just say, I'm media? I'm media. I can cover it. I mean, technically, if I wanted, I could be media. But there is a reason why they have press passes. So right now, the only people allowed inside the buffer zone are people with press passes. No, you cannot just enter the buffer zone because it's public space. Right now, it's not public space because it's a buffer zone. Like, so the amount of people who are like, you don't need press credentials. It's all right. Wow, you're an idiot. Wow. I'm like, wow, there can't be this many uneducated people. There can't. There really just can't. There can't be this many people that don't realize that there are legal precedents that are set by courts. And these issues have been argued a billion times over and over and over. Sorry, not sorry. Like, it's been decided by many courts. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think they're definitely going to have to be more careful. I think they're going to need to do a lot of vetting of these people. Technically, right now, we only have 10 jurors, and that's because one juror dismissed themselves. I don't know. That's what I'm reading, is that they dismissed themselves, and then they found one other to replace that one. So that's why we didn't get like an extra one yesterday. And I am reading that it is resuming Monday, not Tuesday, Monday. So, I mean, we'll cover it as we always do. You know, I'm not really sure, but I do know that the court needs to put something in place, right? I mean, I would assume they have their names, so they're going to check their socials. The only problem with that is that you can't check sock accounts. These people can make sock accounts under fake names. So, and I'm sure some of them have since the first trial, knowing that maybe they could be called as a juror in the second. So, I don't know, you know, like, a lot of people think that they're above the law. They're not, especially when it comes to this, you know, this circus, we'll call it. Okay. Yeah, it's a cell phone and laptop. That's because he's, you know, too busy. That's another thing. Like, the press decorum, like, I'm sorry, but the SJC should have removed his press pass a while ago. He has no decorum. He just doesn't. Like, there's a certain way that journalists are supposed to behave. And he does not behave, not even slightly, in that manner. Not even in the court. Right. So, and yeah, dudes, I totally agree with you. They have disrespected Cannone from day one. And now, and I said this, I mean, most of you that have been watching me for a while know I've said this for a long, long time. Like, now it's just set a precedent. It's just set a precedent for any lawyer, out of state or in state, to come into her courtroom and pull these shenanigans over and over and over, and she's not going to do a goddamn thing about it. I said, if she didn't pull that pro hac vice, that is forever what she told these attorneys. And it is. Unfortunately, it is. You know, I think the judge rules on fear of appeal. I think is ridiculous. I also think that she rules based on how many wins, you want to call it, she gave the Commonwealth, and how many losses she gave the defense. So if she gives the Commonwealth 5 approvals and she gives the defense 5 denials, she's going to give them 1 approval. You can't just give them an approval just to give them an approval. It has to have some legal merit to it, right? And I think she's given them some wins that they don't, that have no legal merit to it. It's just my opinion, obviously. But those are my criticisms of Judge Cannone. Well, I mean, you have to think about it. So when we were going through the numbers yesterday, right? I have them here. The numbers of the jurors. We're in like the 500s, I think, in numbers. So 10 out of, all right, this was the day before, and these were in the 3s. Sorry, I skipped around in my notebook here because I just grabbed it when we were doing it. But I think we were in the 4 and 500s yesterday, 495, 505, you know. So we were give like high numbers. So you got to think about it. It's not about whether it's going too fast. It's about how many jurors had they have thus far, right? And let's see, they've over 500. They're in the 500 and something numbers. So I guess 10 out of 500 and something is a very tiny fraction of that amount of people. So I don't necessarily think it's fast. I would think it was fast if it was 10 out of, you know, 100 people. I'd be like, wow, that's no way. These people are lying. And I have no doubt that there are some people that are lying. I don't have any doubt whatsoever that that's happening. But it's 10 out of like over 500. It's like 530 or whatever they're at this point. So it's 10 out of that many. So you got to think about it, right? Like, it sounds a little less like fast. You know what I mean? Like, since it's that many. So, like, I don't know. I feel like, again, I think it's a mistake of Cannone to say that they still only need 16 jurors. I think that's a very big, large mistake, and I think she should have learned from last time. He deleted it. Well, there's this thing called screenshots that exist. Oh, big mistake, dude. Come on. You deleted it, but too late. People already got screenshots. Well, that's the thing. I think that's where voir dires happen, right? The attorneys get to voir dire, and the Commonwealth has strikes. They can strike 16, I think it is, for any reason whatsoever. It makes it so that both people have to agree on the juror, not just like, oh, this one is the defense likes. Like, if there's something about that juror that the Commonwealth does not like, or thinks that they're being shady, or think that they're lying, like, they can strike that juror for any reason whatsoever. Bye-bye. See you later. So, I mean, the process of jury selection itself tries to make it pretty fair. And I think that Hank, with his very close attention to detail, will do a good job, you know? Good morning, Penny. I know it's not a usual day for me. Saturday is not a usual day for me. I felt like you guys have been so kind to me lately that I would pop on a Saturday. And as I did, as I had already planned, all of a sudden all this crap started happening. So Hank, yes, Kings is right. Hank knows what he's doing, right? And I think, let's remember, Hank has worked on many levels. He worked as a defense attorney, okay? And now he's a special prosecutor. He's worked with the federal government. So, like, he's got a lot of experience in this. And he's got a lot of experience when it comes to corruption, people lying. And I think that he'll be able to spot some of these people trying to sneak their way onto the jury. And also, that's where you get voir dires. People get nervous when they start, lying, and you can kind of tell. And if they're being voir dired, right? I absolutely love John. I'm glad you guys got to see him. I absolutely adore him. He's very, very smart guy. Was that picture with a guy walking with a cane? No, the picture I saw was like from the point of view of a juror, and it was the back of the heads of the other jurors sitting in that room. I mean, it could have been a guy with a cane in the picture. I didn't really look that hard, but it was mostly the back of the heads of jurors. But again, you don't post something. People already have screenshots, so he can delete, but it's not going to help him. What's done is done. You did it. You made the decision. Like, should have known damn well anything that has to do with the jury and describing the jury is a fucking no-no. Excuse my French, but it's a fucking no-no. Like, you don't do it. I mean, dude, you can't have no self-control, none whatsoever. No fucking self-control. The dude has no self-control to be like, hold on a second, maybe this isn't the smartest idea that I've ever had. Maybe I could get in trouble. Hey, freak. So, Penny, a few things this morning. Number one is the solicitor decided it was a grandiose idea. He got out his little book and his little pen, and now he's going to have to write a note to the judge. Dear Your Honor, I'm sorry I disseminated a picture of the jury and talked shit to the court. But I didn't get the information first, and I'm very upset about it. So now I have to trust everybody and the court. So I deleted it. So please don't see it. I deleted it like it doesn't even exist now. I'm breaking the order of describing the jury by posting it, but like I don't even give a shit. Because I'm the sewer turtle. That's me, sewer turtle. Like, did you see Mr. Burns talking to me? I didn't see that. Let me guess though. Smithers was close behind him, off to the side, a little, hands in his pockets, looking like the Smithers that he is. Like, is that what he was doing over there? Like, I can't. He posted a picture that someone had posted from an account that had like no friends or followers, no friends. Like, it had like a couple, but nothing anybody was going to see. And it was like at Dedham Superior Court, I'm in the Karen Reed pool of jurors today. Ha ha ha. And then it's like a picture of that person, like from their point of view, in the back of the heads of other jurors in the room. Okay. So then he reposts this. I'm told as of right now, he has deleted it. Unfortunately, it is a little too late for that. There are screenshots available now. So, he thought that was a grand old idea. It's a great idea. Even though, you're not supposed to be describing the jury, and that sharing that would be describing the jury, disseminating that information, did it anyway. He has no self-control, like, oh, Mr. Burns said he should be playing golf. You know what I find funny about him saying something like that? And I'll get back to the other thing you missed in a second, Penny, is that he has the balls to say, I should be playing golf instead of going through this, while his son, Smithers over there, is asking people to skip buying a large pizza to buy a small pizza, to, quote, give us all your giving. Give us all your financial giving. What? Skip buying your family a large pizza and buy a small one instead. Skip buying a coffee and give your money to Karen. Skip, get a smaller grocery order. These are things he said, okay? And give your money to Karen. I mean, how absolutely... It boggles my mind, okay? I don't know anyone right now. I don't know anyone that can afford to make their grocery order smaller. Like $200 buys you next to nothing these days. Like the prices are sky high on everything, gas, food. So you're asking people to skip their basic necessities, to give money to a woman who didn't have to, but chose to stay in a high-class hotel that she paid for 100 and something days in the seaport. And then the excuse for that for her was, well, for my trial, as if the seaport is closer to the trial than her parents' house in Dayton. It is not. Like, what? Yes, Amy, it's an insanity, absolute insanity. Like, why would these people, and I feel sorry for some of them. I have to feel sorry for them. I know I shouldn't, but I do, because these people don't even realize that the money that they are giving, whether it's from their Social Security check, their paycheck, like whatever it's from, like that they're being bamboozled. Like they don't even, like, she's going to friggin' 5-star restaurant steakhouses, dude, and hiring a livery service instead of having her parents drive her, or her attorneys renting a car and having them drive her. Like, what the actual hell is going on here? That's not legal fees. It's not a legal fee to have a livery service. I wish. I mean, I know they have her car, so what? That's an excuse for it. Like, I wish I had a livery service to drive me around. I have to pay for this thing called Uber or Lyft, and that's not cheap. But like, what? You're asking people to skip meals and get smaller pizzas and skip coffee so that they can give their money to Karen, who spends it ever so wisely. It would be one thing if she was really running out of money and she was selling her designer outfits that she owns, if she was shopping in places for cheaper things so that she could save any penny she could. Over 100 and something grand on a hotel stay? I'm sorry, what? Over 100 and something grand on a goddamn hotel stay. That's absurdity, dude. Come on, that is straight up absurdity. That 100 and something grand could have been used for your experts, Karen, no? Like the lack of self-awareness, like, oh, I should be playing golf instead, as if he doesn't still play golf. As if we really think that he doesn't actually still play golf. What? What? Like, oh, I'm sure he has, but let's get real. Her legal defense was paid for, by the way. Jackson and Yannetti were paid for before she ever started fundraising. The first trial, there was $250,000 for Jackson and $200,000 for Yannetti, and it was paid for before she ever started raising money. Ever started raising a single penny. So where did the other $800,000, $900,000, $1 million go? Even if you paid for the experts in the first trial, we're talking like 60, 80, maybe we want to go real expensive, 90 grand, 100 grand. And that's definitely being steep on it. Where's the rest? There's a 700 grand left. Legal fees don't include being, sitting in a hotel for 100 and something days just because you want to. It's not a necessity to prep for trial in a seaport hotel. You could have chose a hotel right there in Dedham. They have conference rooms they would have let you use. Much, much cheaper. Why the seaport? Nobody asks these questions because I feel like in their minds, it's like, well, she's so innocent that we just need to help her. This poor woman needs help. She doesn't need help. She doesn't need help. She's done enough damage to people's lives to get you people to help, but she doesn't need anything. She doesn't need shit. Her attorneys are not being paid. They're not being paid. They're working for free, they say. So what does she need the money for? She needs the money to keep living that very high class lifestyle. And just to point out, her lifestyle has upgraded since this all happened. She used to go to, local bars and pizza shops. Not no more. So you would start to question the spending habits and the places that she's going to that she was not going to before this happened. Everybody, Ashley wanted me to tell y'all, and this is reminding me, hello, because she will not be with us today. Today is a special day for her, so she has a day planned. Mr. Reed is Mr. Burns. Somebody needs to get that man a neck pillow for court. He falls asleep. Hey, Heartstar. They do seriously lack self-awareness. I think, and because Karen doesn't have the gag order, I think that was done by design. I honestly, thinking about it now, I think Hank Brennan did that on purpose, where he asked for the order to be for the attorneys, but not for her, because now the attorneys can't answer questions, but Karen can. And you never know what she's going to say. And her attorneys know that they can't control what she says. So you never know what's going to come out of her mouth. That may just screw her over just a little bit more, Amy, you have no idea. The levels just keep, and that's the thing. You think they can't go any lower, and then lower they go. Lower they go. She had the one she sold in Mansfield, and her parents have one in Dayton. I don't know about two. If she has two, then, and she's renting one out, then there you go. There's another source of income, Oh, yeah. Ex-colleagues not counted into the fundraiser, and then all that money from the Venmo and the Cash App and the PayPal that went directly to her at $5,000 at a time to max out per day on all the fundraising stuff that they do. Yes, Nathan is Smithers. Ashley said, but I want to point something out. When Aiden harassed me and had me falsely arrested, I got no help, publicly destroyed, and had to travel an hour and 40 minutes. Yeah, that's the bitch of it all, is most people that have to deal with him don't get any help at all. None. No, he's a sewer turtle. He's a sewer turtle. Krusty the Clown would be a good one, but he's a sewer turtle. He's just a sewer turtle, lurking in a pile of shit in the depths of the sewers where he belongs. So he is the sewer turtle. I guess, Video Jesus is learning now that he doesn't care who he attacks, and he actually doesn't care if the information that he says about you is incorrect. He will call you a fraud, a grifter, a liar, a crazy person, a scammer. His favorite one is scammer and crazy person. Those are his two favorites about people. So I find it quite funny that these people haven't learned their lesson. Come on, dude. Watch what everyone else has been through when it comes to him. Come on. Yes, we are. Wednesday. We're going to go Wednesday. If anybody wants to join us, we're going to go Wednesday. Give me 1 second. My little needs something. My little seems to think that if she's awake, that all of her friends will all be awake and they should all come over to play right now because she is awake. So I have to explain to her that it's a Saturday and not everybody is awake right now. And we're not going to start harassing your friends by calling their phones right now. You can call them after 1 when we know that most people, slept in and had their breakfast and, yeah, Penny, that's what, Lindsay's looking at. They wanted like 30 grand, the first attorney, second, third, 75th attorney. They all said like 20, 30, 40 grand just for the first part of it against a fraudulent claim as well. Like what? Like this is insane. And she's not getting any help like that. Like she has a defense fund. It's pinned on my ex. Like she's not getting help. Like, so, I mean, this is deplorable that anybody should be allowed to keep doing this stuff, I saw the sea turtle one. I saw that. You posted it in the Discord. That was a good one. I am doing pizza Wednesday. So we're going to go Wednesday. Ashley's going to pick me up and we're going to go Wednesday to D&E and have some pizza. So anybody who wants to come is definitely more than welcome to join up with us and come. Just let me or Ashley know so that we sort of know that we have to coordinate. So we're definitely going to support and buy some pizza and hang out. Their food's really good. I like their fries. They have waffle fries and they're delicious. I wish I lived in Florida. That weather. Oh my God, the weather. I have family in Florida. We used to drive every year down there because it was cheaper to drive than to like fly all of us. When my grandparents were still alive. But we loved the road trip part. Like we still do love that part of it, So it's like an adventure. It's kind of like an adventure. But I do plan on attempting to try to get down there maybe the end of the summer this year, maybe next year. I want to see my grandmother. She's 89 and she skin cancer was found and this lady's already beat cancer 3 times. So I definitely want to spend a little bit of time with my Nana. She's my only remaining Nana. So all my grandparents have passed on. And my mother's parents, they are the ones who took care of me as a kid. So, and a young adult. So I miss them. They were amazing people. They would have helped anyone. Some of my friends became like family. I remember my grandmother one time, and I know this is totally off topic, but it's just something that popped into my head. One of my friends needed to take her driving test, and my car at the time had been in an accident, so I was waiting on the insurance money to get another car. And my grandmother offered up bringing my friend to the DMV to take the driving test with her car, with her SUV, and she did. Because that friend of mine was like family, like known her for years, So my grandma was like, "Oh well, I'll bring her. I'll come get you." Like God bless my Nana, dude. She was an OG. That lady, miss her very much. She just had such a heart, right, of gold. Like she didn't want anybody to want or need for anything, and I think maybe that's kind of where I get it from. But I think it's the way it should be taught to our children. And I try to teach my kid that if there's, I've taught all my girls that if there's a kid sitting alone in school at the lunch table or at recess, like you go over and you sit with them. Like maybe they're sad or maybe the kids are being mean. Like if you see kids being mean, like you say something, you stick up for that person because that's not okay, Oh, I would love, I haven't been to Disney since I was a kid, like actual Disney. My sister took my little, it was 2 years ago to Disney, but I actually myself haven't been to Disney since I was probably 15, 16, I think, somewhere around there. Like, but we were near it at the Space Coast Center where they said we stayed like 15 minutes from where the Space Coast Center is in Vieira in Port. Oh God, what was it called? It was right near where they set off the rockets for NASA and SpaceX. But it was like right outside of that town. It was like a little town near it called Port something, and it was beautiful. We stayed there when my husband played the World Series of softball. It was amazing. It was an awesome place to stay. Yeah, my mom, my Nana, she was a rock star. And that's it, right? It costs nothing to hold a door, or help an old lady, or carry groceries for your neighbor. Like that costs nothing. It costs absolutely nothing. But I would love to. That would be awesome. I will totally let you know when. I gotta first things first is I gotta attempt to save for a hoopty, because a car is something that I desperately need. So maybe once I get that squared away, I can figure out a Florida trip, because that would be fun. I also think we need to do like a meetup here. Maybe, just maybe, after this trial is over, we can do like I do plan on doing a party when this is over. For all of you that are out of state, I will happily put a Zoom on and allow y'all to join in, because I think it's important that everybody gets to sort of see and be there, even if it's just virtually, I'll just bring my computer out and plop you guys right on a table, hang out with you guys a little, and other people can do their rounds. Oh, South Florida is a part that I definitely have visited only once or twice. Southwest Florida, actually never. I was in Miami one time, and I have family that's in West Florida now, over near Spring Hill, and my brother lives outside of Tampa. So definitely some place that I want to visit for sure. I know, right? So many happy family vacations, and like I would rather give my kid memories than toys. You know what I mean? Yeah, especially for you guys who are in the UK and stuff. Like I feel like not everybody has the money to fly up and join in the festivities. So I feel like it's important to include people some way, right? Oh, see, that would be a perfect place, because that would be near my brother, and I don't ever get to see my brother because, well, I live here and he lives there. Like, yeah, that's definitely true too. If they have cameras in that room of where the juror is, they can definitely locate that juror and see who it was, by the position of where they're sitting. So that's actually funny. Funny you say that. It's how I figured out who took the pictures of Lindsay that I was blamed for way back in 2023, is the position they were sitting in, and I didn't sit for more than 2 minutes that entire party. So yeah, that's how I figured that out as well, was the position they were sitting in when they took those pictures. Like, but I mean, I have to be like, why is the super turtle going off the deep end today? Like, so early in the morning too. Like, why? Just why? Like, why are we going a little off the deep end? I have to think about why he usually does. And usually it's because he's jealous, nervous, all of those things. Like, I don't know. But what I do know is that court order was broken. He broke it. Like, he broke it. He put that out there. He broke that court order. Like, hopefully it gets him booted from the press pool. Like, it's not smart, dude. Like, I mean, come on. It had like barely any followers or barely anything. Like, come on, man. You waited 2 hours too to delete it. Not very smart. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, this picture's bad, you guys. I can see, I'm not going to show it, but I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 jurors. There's either their side profile or the back of their heads. And I mean, it's just no good, bro. You can't be doing this kind of stuff. Like, look, you post it to Instagram too. Like, come on, man. Yeah, it's the jury pool. Like I don't know. There's 10, so I mean, it could be the jury. I'm not sure. Like, oh, girl, yes. You have no idea. I need those roots colored ASAP. ASAP. Yes, I can after the show. Because I can't. It would take me too long to do all that right now. But I will send it to you. It's funny because he says he doesn't watch my show, but find it funny that he deletes it as I'm talking about it. So, hi, Short Turtle. Everybody say hi. 'Cause I think he likes us. I think he likes us. He likes to watch us. He hate watches us, y'all. Like, everybody say hi to the sewer turtle. He's watching today. It could be the pool. It could be the pool. Yep. If you guys have anything to say to him, now would be the time. Sorry, I'm gonna wipe off the camera a little. It was doing a little weird. The tissue. Boop, 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 boop. And clean off the camera. It was doing this weird, like, half and half thing that I did not like. Yeah. Yep. He did. On the back of the jurors. So professional. So professional, you guys. It's so professional. It's very professional. Very professional. Hi, Anna. Yeah, it's probably the pool. I'm not really sure whether it's the pool or the other, like all the ones that were already chosen. I have no friggin' clue. Hey, Potluck, my friend. No, but apparently he's watching. So, I mean, it's not a shocker. We have many hate watchers. Many. Yeah, he's watching right now. You have anything to say, Anna? Want to say hi to him? You know? He's apparently just sneak creeping over here. I don't think he will, Kings. I don't think he will. Morning, Angela. He loves to act like everyone is his enemy, and the sad part about it is attacking people who weren't your enemy makes enemies. So him attacking Video Jesus, even though I'm not a fan of the stuff that she posts or the things that she says, I don't believe anybody deserves to be attacked for nothing. You want to call someone a fraud, you want to call them a scammer, like you want to call them crazy. Everybody is all those same things over and over to him. It's the same excuses he uses all of the time, right? All of the time. Anytime he gets upset with someone, anytime he feels like his feelings are hurt, his feelings are hurt. Well, it's very possible, Barb, but realistically, what usually happens is he gets jealous of something. Either people are saying they like that person, or he didn't get information out quick enough and someone else got it out there first. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like that. Like he told Karen, I don't like that. I don't like it. He doesn't like it. He does not like it, you guys. He does not freaking like it. It's funny because all of the things that he doesn't like, most people don't give two shits about. I don't care who gets a piece of information out before I do. Yay, you. I could have sat on that piece of information for 9 months. Could have had it long before you. I don't give a shit about putting something out there first. It's not the point, right? Like, the SCOTUS is we got messages for you, Sword Turtle. We got messages. Welcome. Yes, he's very afraid of women. He's afraid of girls. He goes to courts and cries about it. Your Honor, I'm afraid of these women. These women are very scary. They're very scary people. I need restraining orders. I need to slap them with charges, fake charges, but charges, please, because I don't like being caught doing things myself. So I retaliate by false charges and restraining orders. So please, give me all the restraining orders on all the ladies. I'm very scared. I'm a scared turtle. I'm going to go hide in my shell. Because you be in the shell, tell me when you pin the restraining order. Like, bro, you're a pussy. You're afraid of women. Women? Really? That's your... Yeah, stop it. Like, stop it. I have never seen somebody milk the system worse than him. Like, run into a court, say you're afraid of a bunch of women, and the court actually buys it. I mean, I guess with his size and his arms, maybe they think he can't do much, can't reach very far with those baby arms. So, I mean, maybe they're like, you know what? We'll give you this piece of paper for protection. Your arms can't protect you. This piece of paper might. Like, I don't, right? You got to chase them away. They're scary. They're so scary. We're all so scared. We're scary people. God damn it. Like, scary. We're just absolutely scary people. I mean, the SJC already did, but you mean the SCOTUS stuff? The SCOTUS isn't even going to touch it. They're gonna kick it back down. They won't even look at it. Like, yeah, I think somebody gave them to him as hand-me-downs. Hand-me-downs. He got hand-me-downs. That's what he got. Like, but I mean, come on, dude. Like, he will attack anyone. I don't think they realize that most of them, it's coming, whether it's Will or Tom. Tom's already been attacked by him, by the way. I don't know why Tom goes back for more. It's like, yeah, that's cute. See, I mean, that could have happened too. Maybe there was a breakup happening. I know that some things happened that she wasn't too happy about, mainly probably because she wasn't allowed at his mother's funeral. But, he brought someone else in the movement. But, I guess she was lied to about that. I mean, that doesn't sound like a healthy relationship if you ask me. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It just doesn't seem healthy. Doesn't seem healthy that way. Well, that's the thing. They should know by now, right? They should know by now, the scam, because it's like a pattern of behavior. Over and over and over. Kind of sad, though. Like, I mean, he can borrow mine, Potluck, right? Like, because since he can't tell the difference between pajama pants and leggings, maybe he can borrow my pajama pants. Usually my pajama pants are quite comfy. He can borrow those if he wants. Like, I mean, it's a very real possibility. Like, I don't know. I don't know. What? When? Originally what happened is I think that Mike said to him, "Hey, buddy, you didn't hold up your end of the bargain when I told you like it has to be factual information and like, it can't be just like attacking." And then he found himself dealing with just personal attacks constantly that of course like he wants the mob to join in on it, and that includes all the content creators. And at one point I think Mike got smart enough to say, wait a second. I didn't sign up for this. This is not okay. And then, but as soon as the mob attacked him, he went right back to it. So I don't understand. Like, you had therapy for what? For the day of attacks you got from doing the right thing one time? I don't get it. Like, therapy for what exactly, sir? Unless you're doing something constantly right this very second that you know that is not true and that you keep spewing it out. Maybe you need therapy for that, because I don't know how you people sleep with yourselves. I don't know how you look yourselves in the mirror. I don't know how you sleep at night. I really don't. Like, the Supreme Court won't even touch it. And they don't have to. They don't have to. Yeah, Court TV did say that. Ooh, ouch. Like, ouch. Yeah, well, that's the thing. It was when he was in jail, right? Because he went right back to it as soon as he got attacked. So it's like, what good did that do you? You know what I'm saying? Like, either stand for it or don't. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, of course they have. It's what they do, right? I mean, I'm sure Kevin, like, ahead of time probably like alerted them that that could happen. So, I mean, I would, if I'm going to put it on the platform, I definitely would alert them to, like, the tactics that they've always done. So maybe they can weed them out. Also, you'd have to like buy it. So you guys bought it to write a bad review? Does that make any sense? Like, why? Why would you do such a thing? That doesn't really make logical sense to me. But, half the shit they do doesn't make logical sense. So, I don't understand it. Why? Just why is the question. Just why? Some of these people I wouldn't even waste your breath with, to be honest. To be honest, I would not waste my breath with some of these people because they're just going to keep saying shit. It's a mantra, you guys. You know this. Like, they're going to keep saying the same thing over and over and over and over. Over and over and over and over. Like, at what point do people get sick and tired of being attacked and called a fraud? Like I said, I have no doubt that Video Jesus has a background in videos and editing and all of those things. I have no doubt that she probably has a ton of experience, and experience is actually better than going and doing book work at school and taking a test on what you read. Actual real life experience. So interesting. He wants to talk about the book after. I wouldn't bother at that point. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't bother. I just wouldn't bother. What would be the point? Like, I'm not going to sit on a show like that to defend my book. You either don't like it or you do. And that's that. I'm not going to do that. Like, you know, you are getting better. Use the software I told you to try out. It's good. It's very helpful. I just played around with it for like 2 hours before I started to like do my intro and figure out how everything works. And I think I did a pretty good job with my intro and outro, but that is also the only 2 editing things I have ever done. And I think I did a pretty good job. You have to put the music in yourself, where it starts, where it ends. You have to clip everything in and like fade it in, fade it out, like all that stuff, the colors, all of it. You have to do it yourself. Like, so, it's not easy stuff to learn. And you got to learn it on different softwares. There's a bunch of different softwares you got to learn it on. It's not just like one or the other. Like if you use Canva, you want to maybe use OBS, they're different systems. So you'd have to learn it basically all over again on a whole new system. So it's definitely not easy to learn. Like Canva, try Canva. It's not easy. Mary Lou's, yes, I saw that. So I told you guys, remember I told you it had to have been a standalone location, like that standalone as in like it was the employees, because those things they could put up, the employees, right? That has nothing to do with corporate. They have no idea. So what it was an employee there decided that was the questions that they were going to put up for the day for the tip jars. So I am happy to see that Mary Lou's News, because it's my favorite coffee place, always has been since I was like in middle school. I've been drinking Mary Lou's. Said that it's completely unacceptable and they have dealt with the issue. So I'm absolutely proud of Mary Lou and her corporate. I told you they would never allow that. Like it's unacceptable. Like, so I'm sure that person got in some trouble. Let's just put it that way. It's not an app, it's a website. So it's just Canva, Canva, Canva. Just go to canva.com. It's good. But I'm glad that they did that. Oh, that's so nice, Lucia. It was Randolph. Funny enough, I was listing the ones that I thought it was yesterday, right? And I said it could have been Quincy, Braintree, or maybe Randolph. And I was right. It was Randolph. I mean, I knew it had to be Quincy, Braintree, Weymouth, or Randolph, because the ones that are further towards Rhode Island don't really, like, the further towards Rhode Island you get, the less crazy mob you find. Let's just put it that way. Like, yeah, it's also tampering with the jury. You know what I mean? You can't do it. There's an order for a reason. And yeah, you can be charged. Like, I mean, he can delete it all he wants, but it's up. We already have the screenshots. Everybody saw it. Like, you can't say you didn't do it. You did it. It happened. Like, so I don't know what excuse you're going to use. I'm sure he's probably calling his attorneys right now. Bradle, how can we spin this? Can we say my kids did it by accident? Can we say someone hacked my account again? I don't think we can use that excuse. I've used that excuse too many times already. What do we do, Bradle? What do we do? What do we do? Bradle's like, oh, we'll just lie. I've done that a million times. It's fine. It's cool. We'll just do that. Like, oh, he knows. He has been notified. He already has been notified. I can't wait to see what happens. We on this train ride. I cannot wait to see how this goes down. I bet y'all can't either. I mean, you cannot think that would be a good idea. No one could have thought that would be a goddamn good idea. Like, what on planet Earth would make your brain go, let's post a picture of the jury, even if someone else already posted it? That account had next to no friends. So maybe 50 people would have seen it, maybe. And you think it's just a grand old idea to repost it to your socials? Come on, bro. Come on, bruh. Bohemian, bruh, brusky, bruh. Can't be a thing. It literally can't be a thing. Like, come on. I do agree. Ban them. Give them the old cancel button. Block them. Black. Wouldn't it be funny if, like, you went into court one day, like on Monday, and like just had like a giant sign up that said block with a circle, and he was just blocked by that sign, and they just kept moving, try to move around it, and they were just like, no, block, block. Because I mean, he lives on the internet, right? So like, maybe just maybe he needs to learn internet lingo to like be able to understand. Like, nope, you're blocked. Block, 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 block. You cannot enter, sir. Like, yeah, no, he knows how to do that real well. He knows how to shoot himself in the foot real well. I mean, here's the thing. When you surround yourself with yes people, yes men, yes women, when you do that, when you surround yourself with just yes people and you don't actually surround yourself with anybody that can tell you truth to help you out, it's kind of what you get. But also, when anybody tells you something you don't like, you flip out on them and send a mob after them, you're not probably going to have decent people around you that actually have your best interest at heart. They just want a pat on the back from you. They just want a good boy, good girl pat on the back. They want to be part of your inner circle. And it's like, it's not only culty, it's beyond culty. Okay. But it's sad. It's just sad. You have to have some real, like, friends. Like, I don't think the man has a single real friend or knows what it's like to have a single actual real friend. That's gotta be pretty sad. You know, I have met so many people from doing this. So many, right? In public, people are like, "Oh my god, I know your voice. I know your Are you on YouTube?" And I'm like, "Yep." And they're like, "Oh my god, I watch your show." Like, I have met so many kind, awesome people doing YouTube that I have made so many new friendships, real life friendships where I talk to people every day. We go and have coffee sometimes, like real friendships. And for him, it's not real friendships. It's just followers who will do whatever he asks them to do. Like, that's not healthy. Like, it's not healthy, you know? Like, I don't expect that my viewership will do anything I say. I also would never, ever dog whistle my viewership to go harass, intimidate anyone. As a matter of fact, I would say, do not harass anyone that we talk about. Do not message these people. Do not anything. It is deplorable. It's disgusting. Like, that kind of behavior does not belong on this platform or any platform, and it doesn't belong with grown adults doing it. You will never, and I literally mean never, hear that man say, do not harass, do not intimidate, do not cyber stalk and criminally, harass people. Like, because he wants them to. That's why it's very abundantly clear. He wants them to on his behalf. He thinks it makes him more popular, or he thinks it makes him stronger, or he thinks it makes him, some sort of big bad ego. It does not. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. Sorry, my little one, the snack that she couldn't reach. I had to get it for her. I mean, it's really actually sad to think about that someone doesn't have a real life friends, right? Real life people, but just yes, men and women. People that will tell you everything you do is amazing and awesome and spectacular. Nobody that will actually say, like, wait a second, you probably shouldn't do that. Or like, wait a second, that's probably not in your best interest. Or like, wait a second, what do you act? Stop and think what you're doing this for. I don't have anybody like that. Doesn't have anybody like, they don't give a shit about him. They just care about the pat on the back that they're going to get from doing it. As long as they think that's what he wants, it's what they're going to do. Right. Like, and he thinks a lot of himself, but see, that's where he starts shooting himself in the foot, is when he feels like he's untouchable and he feels like nothing's ever going to happen to him, is where he starts fucking up. Where he starts fucking up. Like, and as we've seen lately, he'll just continue on to do it. And it's like, bro, do you really think that nothing's going to happen to you? Do you really think that there's not going to be other charges? If you actually believe that, you are deluded. I mean, we already know you're deluded, but extremely deluded. There's a reason why you're still getting away with it all. And it's not because magically nothing's going to happen, right? Like, they're just giving you enough rope to hang yourself, sir, and you're doing a great job of that. Just keep fucking up. Keep shooting yourself in the foot. Maybe you should call B-Rabbit, Maybe he can come and rescue you. Just saying. Like, that's right. You are an accomplice to a crime if you participated. You don't have to be the person that first did it. There's a reason why there are charges for that. Angel said, I compiled the evidence, publicly known evidence, into AI and it gave me a reasonable degree of certainty of Karen's guilt on secondary murder with an impartial jury. No clown defense added. I don't know about charges, but I do think that they will get some sort of sanctions. I think they will be recommended. I think there will be a couple of BBO complaints. I don't think they get out of this unscathed. I don't really honestly know why any attorney at this point would throw themselves into this gauntlet, because you're just asking for your reputation to be flushed down the drain, especially if your client is the sewer turtle. Because make no mistake when I say the man's a pathological liar. He doesn't even tell his attorney. Like, there's an attorney-client privilege for a reason. You want to be able to tell your attorney everything so that they can defend you in the best way possible. They cannot defend you in the best way possible if you're not even being honest with your attorney. It's that simple. If you're not telling your attorney everything and you're lying to your attorney and you're keeping things out on purpose, which no doubt he does, they can't defend you, because then you do stupid shit and it pops up and they're like, wait a second, I knew nothing about this. And then they have to rethink their entire defense of you. And so it's like, you just keep screwing your attorneys over and over and over. And ultimately what's going to happen is they are going to sully their entire reputation trying to defend the indefensible. It sucks. I know, right? Just they were just like with the sign, blocked, nope, can't enter, blocked. I do think it'd be after the trial. Well, that's the thing, right? You can be, the harassment is you're not only complicit, but there's actually a law when it comes to dog whistles. And that's what he does, is he thinks that if he just doesn't say, go and harass this person, he thinks that if he just says, well, that's their number. So, I mean, anybody can find it. It's public. So if you want to tell them what you think of them, I mean, I wouldn't if I were you, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I wouldn't do that. And I'm not saying to do it, but it's the same as pointing a gun at someone and saying, I'm not pointing this gun at you. It's the same as shooting somebody in the leg and saying, well, I'm not actually shooting you. There's actually a law for dog whistles, and incitement and inciting harassment and inciting violence. There are charges for that. I think he thinks because he doesn't directly say go and harass X, Y, and Z that somehow he's getting around it. He is not getting around it by doing that. And also it spits in the face of a judge in a court system, because a judge ultimately is going to look at that at your sentencing and say, did you think that by saying you weren't doing something, but then wink, wink, nudge, nudging people to do it meant that you were just magically going to get away with it? Make no mistake when I say, when he is found guilty on the charges that I believe he will be found guilty on, the judge is going to throw the book at him, because he's made a mockery of the justice system. He has spit in the face of every judge on the bench by thinking that he could just dog whistle his way out of charges. Nope. Sorry, sir. That's not the way it works. Like, not even a little bit. Little one's bursting into the room, demanding the charger. Hold on. I'm going to shut the door because she didn't shut the door. it's not soundproof, so she's watching TV or something. I don't want to get the copyright strike from the TV show that they can hear, and God forbid it's like 5 seconds. YouTube's like, copyright strike, and it's like, cool, copyright strike. I'm not monetized anyway, thanks to FKR. I still have to wait for YouTube to give me any sort of monetization back. And they're ultimately just slow. But if any of you want, there is a ticker at the bottom of the screen, and that's the way that you can donate to the channel, because we don't have super chats and super stickers and memberships and all that fun stuff that other creators have. Unfortunately, the only way that we can get donations is this ticker at the bottom that gives you the information for Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal. So, and I don't ever read people's real names. I might read the first, but I don't read like your full. If I know your screen name, I just read your screen name. If you want to remain anonymous, you can just write ANON, or I think on Cash App, you can't write anything. So if you just put the symbol, and if you put the symbol as like a heart, I'll know that you want to remain anonymous. So I just realized the other day that Cash App you can't write anything to remain anonymous. So I'm like, crap, how do I? But I think you can put like an emoji. So if you can put an emoji, just put the heart emoji, and I'll know you want to remain anonymous that way. So I think that can be figured out that way. But I do want to say that I appreciate everybody that donates to the channel. It really helps. It helps the channel. It helps the whole thing. And I think the trial is going to be long. We're talking 6 to 8 weeks here, guys. Like 6 to 8 weeks. So that's every single day of the week, Monday through Friday. So, and like that's 8+ hours of streaming. So that's going to be a lot. I still have to figure out how we're going to break. I don't want to break for lunch, because it's like, if I stop the stream for lunch, you don't get that time to give the commentary about what happened in the first half, right? So it's like, do I want to break for lunch and stop the stream and then like go eat lunch and come back? I feel like that would be a waste. I mean, the last trial I just streamed right through, because I feel like there's a lot of things that can be said during the lunch break to talk about. And I don't want to lose that sort of time. And then at the end of that day, forget about some of the things that happened earlier in the day, right? So like, I don't know. I still haven't figured out that yet, but we'll figure it out. Somebody else, I can't remember who it was, one of you guys who was like, oh, yeah, a salad or a sandwich. And I was like, oh, probably a sandwich, because the salad would be too loud, crunchy and loud. But I'll just have to like mute myself while I'm eating, or like if I have one of my co-hosts come on with me, have them talk while I scarf down a sandwich or something for a minute during the trial, because those are going to be long days, and we're going to be streaming long days for that. So let's just hope that the trial starts soon. So the faster it starts, the faster we can get it over with. And 6 to 8 weeks is a long time. 6 to 8 weeks. That's almost 2 months, like, yeah, Deb, I think it'll be after trial. Like, yep. No, you don't have to be the person that originally posted it. But if you post it knowing that only 50 people were friends with that person, then you post it to 100,000 people or more. Clearly, you're trying to amplify the picture, even if you're trying to say you're not. Come on, stop it. Like, and taking you 2 hours to delete it, it's not smart, And only after people are starting to say that you're disseminating it. Like, it's like, it shouldn't take people saying what you're doing for you to realize what you're doing. Let's hope so. Heart star. Love it. Yeah, right. You didn't know when I just automatically hit the button that like it's little people time. I think John has a good idea of what the judge wants. He's in that courtroom. He gets to sort of see. We only get to see from the streaming aspect, but oh yeah, those civil suits are going to bury some of these people as soon as this case ends. You have no idea the amount of civil suits that are just going to bury. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea, trying to avoid the circus of people out there. But it's going to get warmer this month. Like, as we know, yesterday was almost 70. It was 69, 70 in some places. It was beautiful outside. I brought my little outside. She made some new friends in the neighborhood. One of the little girls was able to come over and play. It was nice when it started getting a little cold outside. So it was days like that where they don't want people just sitting out there screaming, you know? Like, I think you can sort of tell even the way they interact, like, what's going on there. What is actually going on there, you know what I mean? Like, it's just that look people give each other, it's that tension. I'm like, I don't know how Jackson's wife deals with it, I really don't. Like, I really don't. Yeah, me neither, because there will be, DJ. Lots and lots of lawsuits. Hi, Nair. Welcome back. Absolutely. We got lots of people watching from the bushes. There's 266 people, so there's total. So there's a lot of people listening from the bushes, you know? Everything the defense has put out, i.e. motions or the corpse, is for headlines. So that's another problem that I sort of have with this case, that I think that anybody, even like Nair here, who's on the fence about this case, should think about, right? The defense put out quite a lot of propaganda, keywords they knew that would rile up the mob, like, certain things that they wanted in these motions, in these filings. And it wasn't for purposes of the court, it was purposes of saying things that weren't even true, so that these people would run with the talking points and poison the jury pool. I have a problem with that, right? And as you guys know, the Commonwealth isn't allowed to do that. They're not allowed to just go talk to the press and do all that stuff. Like, they are bound by law. So they can't just, start doing interviews and spewing nonsense. Also, I think it's important that we note that the judge did find that they lied deliberately and constantly, like, that they lied quite a bit. And she dealt with it for a long time, like a very long time. And I don't think any other judge would have put up with it as long as she did. She put up with it for a long time, you know? I think that, yeah, it's a huge bad look, Nair, a huge bad look. I mean, we were talking earlier, like, for her dad to say something like, "Oh, well, I should be playing golf." It's like, do you really think we don't know that you probably do still play golf? And like, why isn't your daughter staying with you instead of at the seaport? No one's getting paid to help you, but you're still fundraising hundreds of thousands of dollars. For what? You're staying at high-end hotels, exactly, rather than the Days Inn. You could have stayed at any hotel in Dedham, right near the courthouse. You did not need to stay in the seaport, and not even the cheapest room there. She's in a suite. So, I I mean, it's just, it should be that should give people pause. It should give people pause that she didn't even stay in these places when she was making really, really, really good money, and like, she was going to regular, restaurants. Like, so it's like her lifestyle upgraded since being charged. That's not normal. That's not like, but nobody sees any sort of red flag with that. It's amazing to me how the propaganda can taint people's understanding of things, and how if you just repeat something over and over, people will just believe it. Like, if I tell everybody that this is a coconut coffee and not the funny bone that it is, and I say this is coconut coffee. It's a coconut coffee. And then every day I show people it and I say, it's a coconut coffee. And someone says, well, what kind of coffee does Elise drink? And they say, oh, it's a coconut coffee. They all believe it's a coconut coffee. Did they check? No. But I said it. I said it was coconut. So they believed it. That's how propaganda works. It's the same shit that we're talking about when it comes to Sewer Turtle. If he just says it enough times, hundreds of his followers will say it to other people. And then those people will say it to other people. And now they think it's a fact, right? None of them. And it baffles me. It literally baffles me now how not a single one of them actually go and do any actual real research on it. None of them. None of them. Like, how are you still going to say that it's pig's ear on John's clothes? It's pig's ear. It's from a dog treat. It's definitely from a dog treat that would be covered in saliva. Okay. That would be covered in saliva, and there was no dog DNA found. None, zero, none say, nada. Okay. Like, I just can't. And I let's hope, because I did hear Bev say something about half days. I can't with the half days. I might hit the roof. I've never seen a court do half days for an actual trial. I've never seen it before. I don't know what the hell she's thinking with these. I get it. She's got other stuff on her docket. I understand it. But at the same time, you should be cleaning out your schedule if you know that you're going to have a trial that's 6 to 8 weeks long, right? Like you should be like pushing things off, rescheduling things, pushing it to another judge, doing whatever you need to do. You shouldn't be having half days during a trial because you're just making it last longer. There shouldn't be half days on this day or that day. Like, I mean, last trial, it dragged it out so long because she was doing like the first couple weeks were like no day on this day, no day on this day, and 2 half days, and there was only like 1 full day 1 week, and it was like, what is really going on here? Like, and as we know, we have Alessi on the defense team, and he takes about 75 years to say his name. So, like, come on now, like, oh yeah, yep, you can be charged. That is freaking true. Like, oh, I know he was reported. Hi, Karen, my friend. This is Karen from True Crime and Wine, everybody. If you don't follow her, she's on TikTok. You should. She is a very good friend of mine, and she knows she's always welcome up on panel if she wants. I know you're probably busy with the kid, but she knows. And if you don't follow her, you absolutely should follow her on TikTok. And she's on X2, Karen, True Crime and Wine. Well, you know, I can't say that they don't all think logically, but we do have a good big group of core people that don't even bother to check any sort of anything when it comes to this. Like nothing. So I think it's hard for me to understand why they wouldn't go and look. You know, like, why not go and like look to see if what you're saying is actually true? Why? Like, if you're hearing from other people that it's not true, and this is how they dismiss it, right? Is by saying like, oh, well, it can't be true because the antis said it. So the antis, because that's what we're called, right? Is antis. So the antis said it. So obviously it's a lie. Why not check anyway? Why not check? Why not check? Why not just go and check? Just for shits and giggles. Why not check to see if what they're saying has any truth to it? I mean, I check all sorts of information, even wild shit that they say. I go and I check. I'm like, could this be true? I don't think so, but I'm gonna check anyway. Like, well, that's the thing, right? You're not even staying at like a hotel, a Motel 6, but you're still asking these people to go from a large pizza for their family to a small pizza. You're asking for all of their fun. What did he say? All of their financial giving and all of their giving. He also said, to anybody who has left, come on back, which means that they were clearly feeling the heat of less donations coming in because people started to realize that like they were being duped. And so they left, and probably people who were donating a decent amount, and they started to feel that. But it's like, you shouldn't need what they're giving you. Your family has money, and this was supposed to be for your defense, not for your pleasure. Like, you know what I mean? It's one thing if you were saying like this, I'm raising this so that I can, you know, eat out and I can stay in a hotel during the trial and I can get a livery service and I can buy the clothes that I'm used to. Like, if you were saying that, cool, that's great. Like, then let them give you whatever they want, knowing that that's what it's for. Like, but I mean, to say it's for defense, if it's not actually for the defense, and then to have your defense team come out and say like they're not being paid, it kind of lets people wonder like, where is the money going then? If they're not being paid and they're all doing it of their principal at this point, which, let's get real, it's because they were all paid a hefty lump sum last time, more than anybody would have paid them. That's why. So they basically got double paid. They're on Karen's house to be sold, so they got more money than even the 250 and 200,000 that they were paid to begin with to do this case. So I fully believe a lot of them were paid a hefty amount. And some of the attorneys that came on last minute, like Alessi and Victoria George, trying to make everything fetch still, I think they were told like, well, you know what? It's the exposure. The exposure will get you clientele. So don't worry about it. Look at what the exposure has gotten us for clientele. So just the exposure will give you more money than even Karen could pay you. So it's like, Alan Jackson said in one of those interviews, like, we're not taking the money because Karen doesn't have it. Well, she does have it. Where's it going? Like, Naira wants to know if anybody has seen or heard about the witness that went to Barstool Sports and told them he was a witness for both sides. Portnoy is going to send him a brick watch to wear during the trial. I wonder, I didn't see that, but I wonder who would have been like one for both sides exactly. I'm trying to think. It was a him? It was a guy? Hmm. There are some like local characters I could think of that would be like a help out, but I'm trying to like pin down who exactly it could be. He is definitely his own worst enemy, and I think he's worse than a tool bag. He's a narcissist, and that's half of his problem. He needs some serious therapy. Like, bro, DJ. I know it was funny. Diana said Turtle Boy's bail could also be revoked. He's doing exactly what he's out on bail for: intimidation, influence tampering, in violation of a judge's court order. Yeah, it could be. It could be. I know, right? She doesn't like the hillside anymore. It's not good enough for her. Hillside is not good enough for her anymore. Like, it's got to be Smith and Walensky. Like, girl, we don't care about typos over here. People bitch at me. You know, the FKR people bitch at me for typos all the time on Twitter. And like the typos come because A, my phone's a piece of shit and it's old, and B, I have arthritic fingers and so it hurts. And I'm typing and my phone's like freezing, and like one of the things, it's like doing the one next to it. And I took like autocorrect off and then I put it back on. It's just a nightmare. So I'm like, you know what? I make typos all the effing time because I took autocorrect off, because it's like inserts words that I didn't write, and then it was doing typos that way. But it really doesn't matter one way or another. Like, my keyboard is like this big and like it's smaller than any other phone I've ever had. So it's like hard to type with like it not hitting another letter. But I'm like, it's X. I'm not writing a paper in college. I don't give a shit. Like, I want to be, Gestapos of spelling. Have fun with that. I don't care. It's X. Like, it would be one thing if I was writing a college paper. I would care. I don't. It's friggin' social media. I don't give a shit. Interesting. Did not give his name. They weren't going to say it anyways. But Dave Portnoy said he'll definitely send him a watch. Interesting. Interesting. I know you know what? It's not even about having him shut up, really, because like I think he talks to himself. Hey, Jesse. I think he talks to himself, right? Like, anyway, to be honest, the man never sleeps, right? Like, he just doesn't. Like, you know, he could ask Musk or the Donald for a job. I think at one point Will was bitching and whining that like his account on X was suspended, so like someone knew the press secretary of Donald Trump and he was going to have him try to contact Musk and unban his X account. And it's like, maybe if you didn't say some of the very vile, awful, terrible things that you said, then it could be Ryan Nagel. I know, right? Alessi. It's shake and bake. Could be Ryan Nagel. It's a good guess. Could be. Definitely could be. Yes, welcome back, Jesse. I'd have to think that they're being bought things with it, Like, I mean, who knows? Like, you know? No, it was Smithers. It was Nathan. Nathan said it. Nathan did this live stream, you know? Said get small pizza instead of large, do a smaller grocery order. Like, bro, $200 gets you almost nothing now. Like, especially when you have kids at home, right? Like, kids that are like little snack monsters. And then I don't know about your guys' kids' schools, but my kid has to have 2 snacks and 2 juice boxes per day on top of lunch, right? So whether she brings lunch or gets lunch at school, she's got to have 2 snacks and 2 juice boxes on top of it. So you got to have the school snacks, right? And then you got to have the regular at home snacks, right? And just those alone, like, cost a pretty penny. So it's like $200 nowadays is almost nothing. It's maybe 2 bags of groceries, if that, and those are gone in just a few days. So it's like you're asking people to have a smaller grocery order. Their grocery orders are probably $400 or $500 to actually put food in that's going to last 2 weeks or so. Maybe not even 2 weeks with that, but maybe about 2 weeks. About $400 will last my house about 2 weeks ish, a roundabout. So you're asking them to make smaller grocery orders to give to the rich family that's paying for things they don't actually need, like livery services and stays at a seaport hotel. Like, the lack of self-awareness there just kind of gets me, Like, Listen, I would give the shirt off my back to someone who needed it, but I'm certainly not going to make a smaller grocery order to help a murderer, an alleged murderer, if she's doing things, even if I thought she was innocent, if she's doing things like staying at a seaport hotel and taking livery services and eating at five-star hotel, like I'm not restaurants, and I'm not wearing $2,000 outfits, $3,000 outfits. Like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, why would I get less for my family to give to someone who clearly has what they need? Like, oh, yeah, I saw a couple people say that, like, "Oh, I watched the whole last trial and Karen is innocent." And I'm like, "Did you only watch the parts where the defense said a bunch of shit that wasn't true? Did you actually watch the cross examinations? Did you watch the cross of Richard Green? Did you watch the cross of Marie Russell? Because if you're anybody with a critical mind, and Arca, like the three defense witnesses, okay, expert witnesses, if you watch those cross examinations and in your head you were like, nope, yep, they're all telling the truth, she's 100% innocent, then then you're looking at it from a biased lens, and you need to go back. You need to go back and you need to watch it again, because I have a really hard time believing that every one of these people watched the entire trial and didn't just skip past everything the Commonwealth did and only watch the defense parts. I know for a fact some of the channels that streamed it talked well over what the Commonwealth was saying, and only, you know what I'm saying, they only watched the like defense parts. They talked over the Commonwealth parts. So it's like, if that's all you're seeing, of course that's what you're going to think. Like, watch the thing in its entirety, right? Like, watch the thing in its entirety. Ooh. Freak said there's a good Russian phrase which translates as trust but verify. It's a good way to work with most things. I like that. I'll have to figure out what that saying is. I don't know. That's a good question. Are they? Are otters actually deaf? Is that a thing? Is that a thing? I love that you guys feel comfortable, both Nair and Jesse, popping in my chat. I love this for you. I love this for my chat. I love this for you guys. Like, I wish it would happen more often. Unfortunately, it doesn't. But I wish people would just start having these conversations together, you know? Maybe Karen Reed's brother can donate some of that $27,000 he embezzled from Bristol Community College, which is terrible, dude. That is, I mean, I don't know. I think there was like a plea or something that happened. Oh, maybe it is Steve Scanlon. Good catch, Angela. Could be Nagel. Could be Steve Scanlon. Could be. Could be, could be, could be. No, just me. I was just asking. It could have been a thing. I don't know nothing about otters. I suspect it was Tristan Morris. Oh, maybe it was. I mean, I don't know how Tristan would be helpful, though. Like, he doesn't really remember shit and he wasn't there. Like, so it's like, I don't know how he would be for both sides, because he doesn't really remember shit. So I don't even think anybody would use him, to be honest. If I was the Commonwealth, if I was the defense, there would be no reason for me to put him on the stand. He doesn't really remember anything, and he wasn't even there. So it's like not really notable to use him, you know? Lisa, I got to get you in on mods over here. I just slacking on my pimping. Well, that's it, right? Maybe she's not paying their rate, but in my opinion, the fund pays for their flights, room, food. That's the other thing. When you pay attorneys, you don't pay for their room, right? That's in what you pay them. Their food, their flights, like that's in what you're paying them already. You don't then pay for that on top of it. And she's been buying all their meals since day one. So it's like, if you were hard up for money, you wouldn't be paying for your attorney's meals every single time, you know? Like, it could be, Lisa, but I don't think so, because he would be kind of useless, you know? Like, what does he really know? He doesn't remember anything, you know? I don't know. Phoenix says anyone on TV's phone should consider him a snitch. If you're in the public sector or a writer, the government will come for you if you're on that phone once his trial is done. I do believe if you committed a crime and your shit is on there, make no mistake that they will have an eye on you. This is why I tell people, I don't know why people help him by lying. I don't know why they help him by writing affidavits that are lies. If you think that the government doesn't know, you have another thing coming. Like, I think they think because they had like some quote wins, or what they would call wins in like court stuff, that they're like, it's like they're winning, it's over, like whatever. And it's like, You got another thing coming if that's what you think. Like, Nair said, Barstool was in Nashville, so it wasn't local info out there about his fiance going to Nashville for her bachelorette party. So interesting. Wait a second. That's what the witness said? That would have been Tristan because Lisa would be right. That if that's unless there's someone else who had a fiance that went to Nashville. Like, he's so goofy. But God, can he put someone to sleep, man? I'm like, damn, like, hurry up with your point, sir. You're completely losing everyone because we're talking in circles and I'm ready to fall asleep. And it's like I have to listen to everything he says, but I'm like, damn, Alessi, dude, like, make your point and move on, because when you sit there and you just blab on and on and on and on and on, you're losing. You're going to lose the jury. No, like, now they're tuning you out at that point. I find myself literally doing it, and then I have to like be like, oh shit, I'm tuning them out, tune back in. Like, and I'm not even doing it on purpose. So it's like, if I'm not even doing it on purpose, there are people who are just going to tune him out and not be like, oh shit, I'm tuning him out, tune back in. You know what I'm saying? Like, the jurors are just going to tune him out, and that's going to be that. Like, I remember a damn thing he says. Oh my God, that would be terrible. Yeah, groceries are expensive. Like, especially, I don't know, like Massachusetts, like, once again, everything is more expensive here. It's absurd. Absurd. Like, the amount we're paying for shit. Like, meats are so inexpensive. Like, even the cheap ones used to be able to get for, ground beef is like over $7-8 for just a pound of it. Like, what? I mean, if the defense is paying jurors on the fly, we got a problem. We got a big old problem. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The only person I know of that's fiance went to Nashville would be Tristan, but he wouldn't really be a good witness for both sides because he doesn't remember anything. Like, he doesn't, because he wasn't even there. He went home, went back and picked up Caitlin. That was really it. Like, there's nothing really for him to remember. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anybody even needs to call him as a witness. Like, the Loch Ness Khaleesi monster. Yeah, then exactly, and then what you do get's not of amazing quality, right? Like, it gets extremely frustrating, that's for sure. Yeah, the basics, like, toilet paper or shampoo. Shampoo's gone through the roof lately. I'm like, "What in the hell is actually going on here?" FKR elitist and the middle class ones wanna perceive themselves that way. I guess, but, I have always thought that, like, we need to help each other, right? We need to hold each other up and, stick our hands out for one another. And there's no reason why we should be tearing each other down based on who makes more money or who lives in a better house or whose apartment is bigger or who has a better car or that someone doesn't have a car and you do. Like, I think that's petty. It's childish. It's disgusting that people feel the need to do all that. I know people criticize my channel because I ask for donations. You can criticize it all you want, but and that other channels don't. Other channels have things like memberships that I do not. Other people have super chats and super stickers, so they don't have to ask. They get money for their views. They get, not that that's a lot because that's basically next to nothing, but they get, the super stickers and the super chats and the memberships, right? That's money that they get monthly and they get a check for that monthly. Like, I don't have any of that, so I don't have a choice. I'm a very small channel. It's what I have is a choice to remain here on YouTube and remain on X and to try to cover the costs and then maybe make something after, unfortunately. So they can criticize whatever they want, but I am not a rich person. If I was a rich person, I wouldn't ever charge a penny for anything. And nobody has to donate. You don't have to donate to watch me. You can watch me for free. That's the beauty of YouTube. You can watch for free. You don't have to donate. I ask that anybody who wants to can. And I appreciate every single person that does, because without you guys, where would I be? Right? Like, so they can criticize whatever they want. They can say whatever they want about me. It's in bad faith. They say it to just be mean. And like, I'm not a mean person. Like, I'm also not a greedy person. Like, if I have something and you need it and I might need it too, I would just split it with you. Like, that's just who I am. Like, bottom line. It's like, I don't know why people feel the need to criticize each other. Why not help each other? Build each other up. Stop tearing each other down. It's really getting old at this point. It really is. When Jackson did a bit on donations, it was very telling to me. He wasn't credible, but I'm biased. It is. It is great to see you. Morning, Ellen. Yeah, they didn't. Most people did not watch everything. I know that they didn't. I know that they didn't. I know. I like that name too. It actually reminds me of ghost ships, which I started getting into like, I don't know, 6 months ago. I started reading about like ghost ships and stuff, like ships that have been left out on sea for like a long time. And it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Again, I'm a nerd, guys. All right. I like nerdy stuff. So TB has repeatedly said he's not going away quietly or to prison. He will give up everyone, including former USC Levy, Jackson, and Yannetti as a bargaining plan. Here's the thing. He knows that if he does that, he's done. Not only is he already done anyway before that, but like he doesn't seem to think he is. But if he does that, he's done. Done. And I don't think he realizes in his brain like that he's already done regardless. And also there's nothing to really give up on Levy that we already don't know. Levy did something he shouldn't have done. Okay. He went on information the defense gave him. He took no information from the Commonwealth. It was improper. Okay. And I don't know what he thinks he's giving up exactly. It's already been given up. So I don't really know what he thinks he would be giving up. You can give up Jackson, Yannetti. They have the messages of him trying to threaten and blackmail Karen. Even Jackson was like, well, that's blackmail. Like, but what are we going to do? Because nobody's going to listen to us. Like, well, now the world knows, So I don't know what bargaining chip he thinks he has. There's not really much. And he is going to prison. So if he hasn't realized that yet, then I don't know what to tell him. Like, yeah, they only watched the cross-examinations for that side. They need to watch the entire thing, because if you watch the entire thing, you start to realize if you're not completely biased and you actually watch it, you're like, oh, crap. Marie Russell was completely eviscerated on that stand in cross-examination. Completely eviscerated. Richard Green was debunked by 2 other experts. The one being the expert for Celebrate itself. Okay? He didn't call Celebrate back. He contacted them to help him read the data. They called him back and he never reconnected with them. He read a data set that he was not certified in. Celebrate themselves are saying he read it incorrectly. So who is more credible to a jury? The software company that made the software? Or the guy who's not certified to read that software and called for help? Logic and common sense would say, obviously, Celebrate is correct and Richard Green is not. If you're going to say that Richard Green is correct, then you are biased, because anybody with a normal brain would see that not only did they send Celebrate, right? But Jessica Hyde, who has nothing to do with Celebrate and teaches on this stuff and is well credentialed to speak on it, said the exact same thing as Celebrate. And she explained it. I absolutely loved listening to her. Like I did. She could explain it in a way that like we all understood. And that's exactly what her and Ian Whiffen, that's exactly what you want any expert to do, is explain it in a way that everybody, including the jury, can understand. It was great. I say this all the time, Lisa, right? Right not give to Children's Hospital. There are kids on the same floor as my kid right this very second whose parents could use help. It is expensive to stay in a hospital with your child. You have to eat while you're there, right? You have to park. You have to pay for that. Like, even if you're inpatient, you still have to pay for it. You get validation. So it goes down from $35 or $37 a day to $25 or $22 a day, but still expensive to park. And like I said, you got to eat. So, and then you got to transport back and forth. And there are plenty of children on my child's floor right this very second whose parents could use that help. Like, why not donate to that floor or any floor and say, here's X amount of dollars. Please give this to the parents of the children that are inpatient currently, or to the child. Like, why not spend your money in a more useful place? I couldn't tell you. I honestly could not tell you. Like, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you, on the floors that they have like common area rooms that are supposed to be for like the kids who are there. to like have something to do, whether it's painting or anything like that. And I will tell you this, I will tell you that there's a ton of stuff for babies, right? There's a ton of baby toys and baby things for babies to keep themselves busy. There's plenty of things for kids ages like, you know, like baby to about, I'd say 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-ish. Anybody over 11 from like 12 up to 25, because most of the time they're seen there until they're 25, unless you're in a different circumstance, kind of like my kid, that she'll be seen there even after she's 25 because her disease is so rare. But there's nothing for older patients. So all there is video games. That's the only thing I have. So my daughter likes to paint things. She likes to paint, and they don't have ceramics for them to paint. They've been out of that forever. They don't have like wooden pieces they can paint, or like go donate some of that stuff so that the older kids have something to do while they're sitting in that hospital other than watching TV. Right? Like, you know, there are things that could be replenished that the hospital doesn't have the money or just doesn't replenish in those floors for the older kids to have something to do while they're inpatient. By the way, I'm neither deaf nor an otter, just like both words, and I like animals. That's okay. So funny that we all needed to know that, though. We needed to all know whether the otters were deaf or not. Nobody knows everything, but we do probably all know too much about this case as the time goes on, you know? Like, that's for sure. No, they are not not a place to have a civil discussion about it. Like, nasty, brutal cesspool over there. It's sad, really, because civil debates could happen, right? But like, as soon as you try to start having a civil debate and being like, yeah, that didn't happen, that's not a thing, like, it's an immediate go for an insult from 9 out of 10 times. It's an immediate insult. Once in a blue moon, I'll be surprised that I will actually have a civil debate with someone. But most of the time, it's a constant, like, them repeating a lie that was told about me. Didn't you blah, 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 blah? Like, oh, don't you owe $50,000? Like, no, I don't owe $50,000. Like, that is what the landlord claimed about like 50 people. He's a slumlord. Go talk to the health department. I have stacks of paperwork and also an actual letter from the health department, like a letter that says that he's a slumlord and that the apartment wasn't even like ready since before I moved in, and entirety of the place is a shit show. Thank God I don't live there anymore. Like, but the point is that's what he claimed about every person that he tried to evict, because we were all turning him into the health department. So you can claim anything in a court paperwork. You could claim that everyone owes you, but his numbers went anywhere from 25,000 to 50 something thousand for every single person. I find that hilarious. Like, so it's like, yeah, how about you try to have a civil debate instead of just like repeating things that are lies? They just think that like repeating a lie is going to like somehow hurt your feelings. It's like, whose feelings do you think you're hurting by repeating a lie? What? Like, not hurting my feelings because that didn't actually happen and isn't actually real. So I don't know what you guys like, you know what I mean? It's like you're wasting your breath and you're wasting your finger push-ups on your keyboard to say something to try to quote insult or make someone sad or upset. It's like, bro, the only things that make me sad are anything that has to do with my children or family. Like, that simple. Okay. I got happy tears. Yes, I have to get off because I was probably about to break down and cry because you guys have just been so kind to me. And I don't see that a lot. So it was getting me in the gut, and I had to try to choke down the tears. Doesn't happen often, but when it does, you know. Yeah, Vermont. I love Vermont. It's so beautiful, though. I've been there twice. It's beautiful. I worked in the mountains for a long weekend during Oktoberfest one year. This was long before my little was even born. I was working for this company that did like reps for like all different kind of companies, and for that weekend it was Oktoberfest, so it was Fireball. So we had to dress up in the Fireball stuff. We gave out Fireball like beads, and people came over and tried Fireball because it was an at an Oktoberfest, and we had this like this shot ski, and it took like three or four shots, and I would have 3 or 4 people would have to get on the shot ski, and I'll take the shot at once. But that was my first thing with the Oktoberfest, and it was a blast. It was fun. We had a good old fun time. But we did on my day off there, we stayed at a condo there that they paid for, and we took the ski lift up the mountain, and it was beautiful outside. So like, oh my God, it was so beautiful. The ride there was long, but I would do it again because it's just gorgeous. Gorgeous. Yeah, probably not saving on room charges. But absolutely, I agree with you that here they've skyrocketed too. Like, it's nuts. Otter said inflation is crazy. So glad I have chicken for eggs because, dude, if I had the space, if I didn't live in like if I lived rurally, like rural, and I could have chickens and I would do it. I would do it. I could do it. I mean, they could if they shared a room. Maybe they do. We don't know. It's possible. Possible. Unless he seems like a nice man and he respects Hank, but he's very dull. Yeah, he's very dull. So dull. So dull. Like, come on, man. I think Mr. Burns was talking about his age, referring to the back nine and seeing the clubhouse. Let's get real. He probably definitely still golfs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he probably still golfs if he can golf. The person was said to have a run in. Yeah, that's got to be Tristan. And he doesn't have to be called to front like he's going to be. Yeah, I think that has to be Tristan. That doesn't really make sense for it to be anybody else. Yeah, I have an older sister that lives in Indiana on the Michigan line there. I'm at a near certainty that the defense had plant jurors. The circumstantial evidence is glaring, in my opinion. I mean, believe you me when I say there are eyes on it, right? Like, we are keeping an eye on everything that we can find that has anything to do with the jury to make sure that like anything, at least on the social media side, is not pushed out, because anything that is, people are going to report it. And that's what we do, is we report the shit. But I do have faith in Hank. I have to have faith that Hank will weed these people out and use his strikes accordingly. If he even feels the slightest bit that someone's lying or being shady or giving the defense a look, like I have no doubt he will strike them, you know? Yeah, those tariffs are going to make everything go through the roof. It's not helping us, that's for sure. The US is tariffing. I mean, I think some of them were definitely justifiable. We can't just keep having people do it to us and then they never have to pay anything. But at the same time, that doesn't really help us, does it? The little people. It doesn't help us little people. He doesn't read the room super well. But again, he's not like a criminal defense attorney, right? Like, his main thing was like environmental law. Like, so I don't think he really understands that, like, where you might want to argue it thoroughly in environmental law in front of a judge, like criminal is a little different. Like, they want you to get to the point and not take forever to get there. Like, it's usually how a criminal court works. Like, the judge wants to get it done, like, without taking so fucking long. Unless he doesn't read the room super well. He doesn't. They are cruel. It's awful. It's gross. Like, and I think it's funny because someone else's account I was talking to yesterday, hey Jack, my friend, was locked down for violent threats. They didn't violently threaten anyone for 7 days. Okay. But you can report accounts that actually do give violent threats or inciting harassment or wishing harm or death upon people. I saw a couple of those. Somebody's wishing death upon the judge twice now in the last week and a half. I saw one of those this morning. It's deplorable. It's disgusting and has no place in society to act that way. But ultimately, the amount of cruelty that you can report it, and X is like, nope, nothing to see here. Nope. And you want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because X doesn't use real people to go over these. It's a bot. It's a bot. And if the bot doesn't see certain words put together and a bot can't realize that it's incitement, right? So it just says, nope, nothing to see here. No violation, when it's a very clear violation. Yet you have some accounts that are just being struck that absolutely had no violation whatsoever. So it's like, clearly X does not do a very good job. Their whole thing about free speech, that's great. We all love free speech, but there has to be a limit when it comes to wishing harm or inciting harm against other people. Cyberstalking is a crime. Criminal harassment via cyberstalking is also a crime. Like, they need to do better. X needs to do better. Like, not many people left with them, Angela, which kind of, it's shitty. It really is shitty. Like, at least have some ethics. Like, just a little. Like, if you don't have any fucking morals, have a little bit of ethics. Like, something, something. Like, you do what you do, Freak said, and if people appreciate and donate, all the better, but you don't do it for the money. If you wanted money, you'd start a cult. Well, that's the thing. Like, I was getting quite a bit of money, not enough to be like, oh, I'm making a ton, but like enough to like pay for things per week that I needed to pay for when I thought Karen was innocent. If I wanted to just keep the money and it was only about money, then I would have just stayed there. I would have just kept saying FKR till the end, right? Because that's where the money was coming in. I didn't. Do I need it? Absolutely. There's no doubting that. I am not a rich person. Once again, do I need the money? Absolutely. I think everybody could use money and needs money. But I can do an entire stream for 5 hours and not make a single penny. I mean, what? We've been on 2 hours now and I still haven't. Like, so that's not why first of all, I love my community. And you guys always, at least even if I'm having like a shitty day, like will always make me smile. And I love that about you guys. Hold on. Little coming in. Little alert. If I wanted to just, do I need it? Yeah, everybody needs it. Like it's hard life living these days. Everything's expensive. But I can do an entire stream and make nothing. That's the nature of the business. And I understand that. You know what I mean? Most people do. But I think it's important that there are civil discussions happening. I think it's important that people have these conversations together. I think it's important that anybody who wants to, and I know a ton of people who like I allow to join my live at any time they want, that aren't invited on other channels, or people don't think that they have much to say. I saw something recently that said that only certain people have anything of substance to say on this case. And I have to say that I highly disagree and think that's an absurd statement. There are plenty of people with substance to say on this case. There are plenty of people who have been through hell and back when it comes to this case. So I don't think that there's any one or two people that are more important in this than anyone else. And that's why I don't care if you have 1 million subscribers or you have 2 subscribers or none. People are welcome to come on my platform and have these conversations on stream. And I love those conversations. I absolutely love them. That's why we have people like Sunny, and in the past, you guys, we've had Erin, and she is so smart, such an amazingly smart person. Erin is. I absolutely adore her. And that is why we have these conversations. Bree comes on, B Tim, voices Kathy, like, and God rest her soul, heals. Like, we miss her so much. But all people who had voices in this and all who have amazing opinions, and some of us who have been through hell when it comes to this. Like, there have been so many different people that have come on my channel, whether it be via chat or via like in the panel. And I think all of these people had something of substance to say. So I allow people to say, they can say whatever they want. They can criticize me, they can call me names, they can say I'm ugly, they can make fun of my leggings, they can say, "Oh my god, she doesn't even have a car. That's so funny." Like, I don't give a shit. I don't care. At this point, the people who know me. The people who follow me. And the universe will course correct. I believe in karma, good and bad. I believe that you put good karma in, and good karma eventually will come back to you. I believe if you put bad karma out there, that also will come back to you eventually, and that your comeuppance will come get you. So I just am going to stick to believing in the things that I believe in. And they can choose to do whatever they want, but criticizing me isn't going to make me go away. Saying things that aren't true isn't going to make me go away. Trying to insult me isn't going to make me go away. The harassment isn't going to make me go away or shut up. None of it is. None of it is. None of it. Like, I am amazed by all of you. Like, I used to get so many trolls. We used to get so many trolls in the chat. Like, so many. Like, so freaking many. We used to get so many. Now we barely see them anymore. We barely see them anymore. Once in a blue freaking moon. And that speaks volumes anyway. Because it's like, what's the point? Like, what's the point of wasting your finger push-ups to like talk shit? You're gonna get blocked, banned, and booted anyway. Like, oh, Musk's AI, Anna says he's the biggest spreader of misinformation on X. I freaking love that for him. Love that, Grok. Don't feel lost, Jack. Don't feel lost. You can always play my videos at 2 or 3 times speed and you'll get caught up in no time. And the catch up is this. We're up to 10 jurors. One like dropped out, I guess, yesterday, and then they replaced it with one. So we're still at 10, and then it starts again on Monday. So you didn't really miss a ton, you know? And I can always try to fill people in on X if you guys have like specific questions. I mean, Discord if you have specific questions. Yeah, a dog whistles are threats. I'm kind of a nerd. I just am. It's that simple. I'm a nerd. Nerds and scapegoats united. Yes. Yes, I am. I'm a nerd. I just am, unfortunately. I'm just a nerd. That's me. Interesting. He is very respectful towards the judge and the court, so I do admire him for that. Yeah, I think that's definitely a good thing to have, and not to be, basically spitting in the judge's face. But I feel like he's just so much. I'm just going to fall asleep, dude. Like the kid who loves watches. I don't believe Colin would talk to people like that. Poor Colin, man. Like, he wasn't even freaking there. Can we leave Colin the hell alone? Like, that destroyed that kid's like college life. Like, that's time you will never get back. Okay? You'll never, not that any of us will get any of the time back that we dealt with any of this shit, but that kid will never get his college life back, that experience back. And that's fucking sad. And he is around my oldest child's age, my oldest daughter's age, and it kills me. My daughter doesn't have the option to do that with all of her medical. She doesn't have the option to like go away to college. And, but God, like, for that to be taken from any kid in any way, for any reason, whether it's medical or in this case, harassment, like, it's sad. That's time that that experience they will never get back. And it's wrong, like, I know I always assume everyone is in like Eastern Standard Time too, Nair. I have to remember sometimes when I go live that I have people in the UK. I have people, across the whole country. So they're 3 hours time difference, Brennan has exposed the ethics of the ARCA witnesses. They did collude. And that's just bottom line is they did collude with the defense. I mean, oh, she is the GOAT. I know I'm behind in comments by like 20 minutes, but I like to get them all in there, Yeah, he hasn't. Children's Hospital is one of the best. And I even like all across the country, they are some of the best hospitals. Jen said, I work for a hospital in Cleveland. And what you are saying is so true. Do you all have a child life department where your daughters? Yeah, they have like it's called something else. It's not called child life department, but they have like, and they might have like 1 or 2 like boxes of something that someone donated that's like new that you might be able to get from them once in a while. And they're good like that once in a while, but sometimes they don't. And so you're kind of just like hoping that your parents or someone else brings it into you so you have it. Colin's a good kid though. Like he gets a bad rap, but he's a good kid. He's a good kid. He's polite and respectful. He's a good kid. I'm glad you found us, Jackie. I don't know how you found us. I would love to know how. Was it just a Google search? Was it like Facebook? Like how'd you, like, I'm glad you found us though. I do too. Nair, I agree with you on that. I think tons of people are completely immersed in the retrial and all they hear or read or see, a lot of them though are in an echo chamber. It's, you know, it might be many different versions of the actual truth, but when you're only seeing the conspiracy side of it, I feel like it's hard for them to step outside of that and kind of even look at some common sense things because they can't even concede to the most common, they can't even concede to the picture of the taillight being gone. That's the most basic of basic. They're saying what my eyes can see, I'm not going to tell you that I can see because it looks bad for my side. So I'm just going to say, where? I don't see it. Like, that's not normal. Like, it's right there. Everybody with eyeballs can see it. My daughter, I mean, being as morbidly funny as she is, said, Mom, I'm legally blind. And she's not kidding. She's legally blind. She's like, and if I can see that, then so should everyone else. So if she gets things like real close up to this eye over here and turns it kind of sideways a little, she can see. So with her phone, that's what she'll do. She'll, get it real close and like turn to the side. And she's like, if I can see that it's gone right here, how can nobody else see that? And I'm legally blind and I can't see crap. So it's like, they're willfully just being like, nope, see nothing when it's right in front of them and they can see it, you know? Yeah. I mean, if you don't want to deal with stupid, I would also advise you against it. But that's why we have Discord. I love you. We have a Discord for that exact reason. They get mad when you tell them they're parroting, but that's what they're doing. They're parroting what they heard from the cult leader. That's it. That's it. Because they'll say things that only he says. And it's like, you're just repeating and parroting a mantra. Like, yeah, he was probably right. He was probably like, yeah, your son was probably right. Like, Mom, nope, not for you. Not if you don't want to deal with stupid. Came to Karen's case with an open mind first day of trial, not knowing much. But the caption and description, when Carrie testified, I was like, no way she's innocent. Oh, you notice too that Carrie did not get cross-examined by the defense. Why do you think that is? They knew if they crossed Carrie, that her answers would completely destroy their conspiracy. So they chose not to cross her, which spoke volumes to me that they chose not to cross-examine her. Vermont's a boutique state. We pay for the mountains and Lake Champlain. I grew up on the ocean, North Shore, and I've lived in Vermont for 20 years and raised 3 boys, now young men. Oh, I love that for you. I bet it's beautiful there. I'm a little jelly. I'm not going to lie. I do. I trust Hank. I mean, if some miracle happens and she does go free, I fully believe that maybe eventually she'll get hit with those witness intimidation charges and see some jail time at the very least, you know? I know nothing but keep seeing Karen's name, so I watched the whole trial. To me, no doubt she is guilty. Jack says he is from Boston, so Eastern Standard Time. You grew up in Mass, but you're in the Midwest. We like the Midwest. Oh, yeah, the roommate. Oh, boy. That's no fun. Poor Ellen has to deal with these people, and she just has such a big heart, so it breaks my heart for her. I wish she lived closer because I'd give them a piece of my mind. A piece of my mind! Every chance they get, they say attorneys are working for free. Again, they keep saying that, so that they're volunteers, but where's the money going? You know what I mean? Where is the money going? Like, have you ever listened to the podcast True Crime and Cocktails? I have not. They're usually pretty good with their research, but they went down the conspiracy route, which I was surprised about. A lot of places did, and even trying to listen to some of them, they don't even have some of the like basic facts right. And I'm like, clearly they did not do actual research. They just listened to other people and decided to go on that information instead of actually putting any research into it, which makes me a little sad. Like, if you're going to do a show, do you want to put some work into the information you're putting out there? Just a little, maybe? Like, I mean, we all get things wrong once in a while, but it's like when you're consistently getting like the basic facts wrong, that means that clearly you didn't even look any of it up. Unless he loves to lose himself in his word logic. I could see him spending many hours over some of his speeches. He loves it. It's only us that don't. Yeah, well, I don't think we did. Yeah, that's weird. Not that you would ever threaten anybody anyway. You're like the sweetest person ever. So that's crazy. Ugh. I mean, if I could ban X, I probably would. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, it's some people's only way of contacting me, so I can't just, get out of it. Otherwise, I would, because I feel like it is just a cesspool, and there are other places like Clapper and Blue Sky out there. Unless he would be good on Capitol Hill during a filibuster. That's probably so true. Well, that's all he ever does. That's all he ever does. That does not shock me. I mean, that's all he does is sit there and, try to sully anybody's credibility he doesn't like. And usually it's because he knows that they are credible and that what they say could damage him because it's truth. So he tries more and more and more to sully them, to make them less credible. If he just talks shit about them and says how bad they are and how awful they are, then he's making them less credible. And so nobody will listen to what they have to say. It's something he pulled long before this case ever existed. The Trust Me Bro events. It's like dun 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 dun. How many clowns get out of the car? Burlington's pretty. You gotta go to the Berkshires, though, is where I would describe Vermont in mass as more like the Berkshires. Like, oh, I think if she was a man, she'd definitely be in prison, 100%. And yeah, I think a man would at least have been smart enough to not do all the damn TV interviews and like, L wants to do an interview. Should I do it? Like, that was the most disgusting thing I think I have ever seen. She loves the attention. Loves it. It's very clear in that documentary, and she had no idea that it wasn't actually going to be a second trial. It's very clear in that documentary. She had no clue there was going to be a second trial, and this would make her look terrible. She didn't care what it made it look like because she never thought a second trial would happen. And that was a grave miscalculation. That documentary showed everybody who she was, and a lot of people saw it and did not like it. Like, did not like it. It made a lot of people realize that she was guilty, and that's her own fault. It's a mindset. Unfortunately, more than half of YouTube doesn't have that same mindset, but that's how I run my show. They can run theirs any way they want, and I'm going to run mine the way I want. And if they don't like it, they don't have to hate watch. We got hate watchers, but we have over 300 people watching, and some of them are just straight hate watching. It's like, why waste your time? I don't waste my time watching you people. I don't know why you waste your time watching me. Like, yeah, comeuppance is a nice word. I like it. Oh, absolutely. Oh, hold on. Little one. One second, guys. Sorry. My God, the stage is so wonderful. They don't like the word no. Not that any kid likes the word no, but you know. Yeah, that is my biggest fear as well, but I do have to have faith in Hank. I do. I really do. I have the faith. I have the faith in him. I do. And I do think that even if there are maybe people that might be on the fence and they actually get on the jury, I do think that Hank will do a great job of like persuading them with like real facts. Like, because we know, like Jen said, that they don't do any of their own research. Maybe if they're hit with all of the evidence right in front of their faces, they're going to have other jurors being like, so hold on, there's all this evidence and you're still going to say not guilty. And it's like, that's how jury deliberations work. Other jurors might be able to convince that person that you were wrong, and we don't know what's in the new tech stream data, right? There's 8 gigabytes of data, you guys. Like, there could be some very damning, and clearly there is, because otherwise we would have heard the defense saying it's a nothing burger, there's nothing there, and we haven't heard a effing peep from them before the gag order was in effect, right? Like, well, that's the thing. I think especially with Marie Russell, I don't even know why Marie Russell or Green is coming back. I honestly think they're going to make fools out of themselves. Hey, Leah, my friend. All that in a bag of chips for Carrie Roberts. Yeah, because they didn't cross her. It's like, okay, you didn't cross her? Like, cool. Like, cool. That's alert. No dumb questions here. There's no dumb questions here. I told you guys, it's never a dumb question. If she's found not guilty, can the O'Keefe family go forward with their case against her? Absolutely, because she can still be found at fault in a civil case. Make no mistake, that case is going forward, period. Oh, I am jealous. 85 degrees you're getting? I am so jealous. Probably not going to be that hot when you come and visit, though. Seriously. Jack said, when you're here, Jackie Blue, I can't keep the song chorus of that song out of my head. Oh, Jackie Blue. I don't even know who sings that. Hank's going to eat the chips and pop the bag. Probably. It is such a cesspool. Like, hidden killers. Tony Bruschi is not folding to the Karen Reed cult. Interesting. Somebody else who isn't. Oh yeah, just make another one. I mean, they make sock accounts constantly, and then they like, it's funny because they like accuse everybody else of making a sock account. It's like, dude, I have one account. I want people to know that what I'm saying is coming from me. I don't need a sock account. Only FKR needs 75 sock accounts for one person. And it's funny enough because the cult leader and the cult mistress have the most sock accounts out of anyone. It's like, bro, you need that many sock accounts to sit there and hate on people? Like, get a life, dude. That's the biggest part of it, right? I wish Joy was here right now because she's an attorney, and she can tell you, like, there are plenty of attorneys that think Karen is guilty. They're just not on X. All the ones that think that she's, quote, innocent are magically on social media saying it. Find that to be funny. There's a reason. They want the attention. Yeah, the civil suits will happen. They will happen. Make no mistake about it. Yeah, Claire's the first clown. I love John. He's absolutely amazing. I should all follow John DePetro. Stated yesterday that the judge ended proceedings saying enough due to exhaustion and defense attorneys pushing boundaries with juror questions. Ouch. They want to try to make sure that their people are free Karen Reed, and they're trying to make sure that like anybody who might think that she's guilty, who has that kind of mindset of a normal person, is pushed to the limit. I can't believe that they even went there. To me, that's crazy. Like, they need to stop it. Yeah, they're like laughing. A man is dead. Hey, crazy cat lady. A man died. Like, died. And you guys think it's funny? Like, I just can't. Like, she should scold them in public. Jimbo, nice to see you, my friend. Should absolutely scold them in public. Like, this is unacceptable. But it's like, you say you're not going to deal with it, Bev. Let's do something about it, man. Like, ugh. Yeah, so civil is different than criminal. So even if she was found, and I love when people are like, she's innocent. It's like, there's no such thing as innocent. It's either not guilty or guilty. Either there's enough evidence to prove she's guilty, or they don't have enough evidence to prove she's guilty. It doesn't mean she's innocent. There's no such thing as being found innocent. Like, that's another thing. Like, for someone to be acting the way she is, you are literally being charged with serious crimes. I don't care if I actually was innocent. There is no chance, and I mean no chance, that you would see me acting that way. None at all. Not even a little. Like, I just don't. It blows my ever loving freaking mind, bro. Like, oh god, Tub just went live. I can't even. I don't know how you people watch any of that. Like, I give you all props for anybody who watches that absolute shit show. Like, I can't. I just cannot do it myself. I can't. I literally can't. Yeah, I love John DePetro's insight. He is brilliant, and I met him a few times in front of the courthouse, and he's very kind, and I think he's got a lot of very important and really awesome stuff to say. I love his insight. I absolutely love it. This is the part of the middle of the show. So we're 2 hours and 23 minutes in. I'll probably go closer to 3 hours and then end. But this is the part of the show where I remind everybody to make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you already haven't. If you're new to the channel and you like us, hitting the like and subscribe button is really helpful. And maybe sharing with other people who you think would like the channel, that also helps. And if you can, and only if you can, obviously, and you want to help out the channel, you can donate by doing Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. We would really appreciate it. I do read them. I will not read your government name. As you guys know, I don't read government names if you don't want me to. You just put ANON. You want to remain anonymous, whatever, and I won't read it. I read screen names most of the time, or first names if nobody says they want to be anonymous. I never read a full government name because there's no reason for that. It's people don't need to be harassed by the other side. It's utterly ridiculous. And I think Cash App, I just realized you can't put words. You can only put emojis. So I guess if you put a heart emoji, I'll know you want to remain anonymous and I just won't say your name. So I just wanted to put that little reminder out there because I know we have a lot of new people and I want to make sure that they get to know when we're live. We also have a Discord. Now that Freak can put that in the chat. Please, Freak, I appreciate you. The link to the Discord, and I do it's for my channel, and so we can do what's called voice chat there. So when I'm not live on video like this with you guys, I can go there and I can go into the voice chat, which is set up as the Treehouse of Horrors, Twisted Treehouse of Horrors, and I can chat with you guys via voice, and you guys can actually either talk back or you can mute yourself and just listen to the conversations being had. You guys can also do that amongst yourselves without me there, because that's the fun of Discord. But we have a great community over there as well. So if you want to join that, we'll put the link into the chat for you guys. Jen said, I heard that yesterday as well. The defense is pushing the judge way too far, and I don't think it's going to bode well in the trial because she is over there shenanigans. Yeah, and if they try it at trial, I have no doubt that she will call them out publicly. She's had about enough. But I really want to see some action with her. I really want to see some public action. John DePetro also commented yesterday that Hank Brennan was on top of the defense attorneys and their shenanigans. I'm very confident that Hank will bring justice. I am extremely confident in Hank. I feel old too. Don't worry. Don't worry, Jack. You're not the only one feeling old. It is a lower standard. Yeah. It's civil suit, but it's also she's bound to lose those civil suits. It's really just that simple. Jen said, did you all see the potential juror named Jim who was videotaping walking into court and in the courtroom? I wonder if criminal charges can be filed. Well, they can be. Definitely can be. But they don't always, They don't always. I'm in my late 30s, though. I'm 38. I'm going to be 39 this year. I'm getting up there. But my body feels more like 90, 80 maybe. business side of 5 to 9. Sorry, people are, "Hey, Greer," in my, Discord right now because you guys are entering it because you saw the thing, so I just wanted to say hi to everybody over in the Discord. Um, yeah, they would have leaked. They're gonna continue leaking all sorts of stuff, and it's like, let's hope that the court puts a stop to it, um, that the court is more on top of this kind of behavior, and that there are some consequences handed out so it deters other people from thinking they can get away with it. Like, I never made a sock account on Twitter, but I get questioned if I am all the time. I don't even like Twitter, nor do I care. So that's the funny part. There's a lot of people who are like, that's definitely got to be Leah. Like, I've seen a lot of the like free Karen Reed people say shit like that, and I'm like, yeah, no, it's not Leah. Like, it's not Leah, dude. It's not. It's just not. Like, I know the way you talk. I know the things that you would say, like, in those accounts are nowhere like, no. I think they get mixed up with like people that like just don't like the shit they're doing and they blame like the like named people that they know. Like, I get blamed for sock accounts all the time. My friend Julie gets blamed all the time for sock accounts. Karen from True Crime and Wine, Kara, Lindsay, like none of us have them. None of us have sock accounts. Like, we all just have the one account. Like, and if there was a sock account that we had, I had one at one point that I used maybe 6 times, like 2 years ago, like or a year ago. Like, and that was really more to just look at things. I never like I maybe commented like 5 or 6 times ever with it. Like, and it wasn't to anyone. Like, so it's like, I don't understand, like, why they just assume that it's us. It's not. Just FYI, it's not. You're barking up the wrong tree. Like, I mean, not that they're gonna believe me anyway, but like, hey, keep blaming people who you think it is when you're like completely off base. You know what I mean? Oh, there she is. I was just talking about you. Joy said, burden of proof much lower in civil court. Preponderance of evidence instead of beyond a reasonable doubt. Oh, Keith will prevail. I'm here, just quiet. Wickham late out west. Oh, I always forget about the time difference. I try to remain. I try to have it remain right here in the front of my head, the time difference, but sometimes I forget. I'm so glad Mike King spoke up, Jackie said. Scott from Crime Talk is good. Yeah, I have to check him out today. Today's Saturday, so I have to check him out today. Have to. I have a sudden craving for pickle chips. I don't know why. Yeah. Karen's pickle chip fiasco. That was kind of funny. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He thinks she's guilty, which is so funny. Like, also because you're here, Leah, I'm gonna play your very favorite clip. We got a super chat. We got a super chat. So that is the circus that was outside the courthouse last trial. FKR, everyone, FKR. Like, at least the people that were outside the courthouse acting a fool. DePetro also said Brennan was getting into it with Yannetti over the questions they were asking. They don't seem to realize he's always 10 steps ahead of them. You know, Yannetti and Jackson have their work cut out for them dealing with Brennan. Or the ones that say factually innocent. Like, give me one fact that shows she's innocent. I love those people. Well, she's factually innocent. And where did they hear that from? Where did they hear that mantra from? That parrot. Where did they parrot that from? The Hewitt Turtle. You heard it from the Hewitt Turtle. That's where they heard it from. So it's so funny that they say, because it's like there's not one single fact that shows that she's innocent. So how is she factually innocent? That doesn't even make logical sense. Like, come on, man. Yeah, Portnoy said Karen did it. Like, an innocent person doesn't feel good no, it doesn't feel good at all. You're still afraid that you're going to be found guilty even if you did nothing wrong, and it's going to be your life. You certainly wouldn't be acting like that. That's for damn well sure. That's my opinion. Certain people speaking out show the tide has turned even in a small way. An innocent person would be going through hell. Yeah, they would. But they also wouldn't be the happy, yeah, they wouldn't be the happiest person. They wouldn't be thinking everything is awesome and fine and great, you know? Hey, Betty. Glad Mike King thinks that and not going with the views. I think more will start to turn and start focusing on the facts. Let's hope so, because they know it's like a view shitstorm if they talk about this case and they say she's innocent. They know they're going to go up by tens of thousands of subscribers and views, and that's money. That's money. The bottom line is it's money. They know this. So I see a lot of the people just doing that. Like, and I'm like, you know what? I feel like it's called karma will come. It will. It really will. Like, I know, right? Me too. I don't know. Give me 85 degrees. I will do it. Tom, CPU has just started up for the public meeting about the audit later. Yeah, and you know what the audit found, you guys? Here's the best part. You know what that audit found? That there was no planting of evidence. I am so glad the Discord is growing. And you can message. Yeah, you can message each other one-on-one too. Betty is Karen. I hit him. I'm a nobody, so I just used my name. Hey, that's a lot of people just use their names. It's totally okay. You can use whatever you want. Joy said, Deb, any other defense attorneys would tell their client to knock it off if their client was acting like Karen. Her attorneys are taking a big risk. This won't backfire because she's awful. And I think it will backfire. Abso-freaking-lutely. Jack said, whenever someone says factually innocent, I know they're dumb. Sorry, I said it. No, you can totally say it. You can say it. For those who pray, we need to pray through trial for truth and justice, Jackie said. I agree with you. Let's do it. My 20-year-old college student watched the docuseries and she believes she's guilty, but did question the I hit him because we heard everything else on the dash cam but that. Well, she was also running back and forth, and we have first responders that heard her say it. So, yeah, he's not the teacher's pet anymore. I think he might be a little bit upset about that. That's okay. Rewinding is totally allowed. You can rewind. I'm like 5 minutes behind in these comments. Sorry. Yes, he was Weinstein's attorney. Hi, Frank. He's so slimy. I bet he takes acting classes. Probably. He's been in a couple documentaries. I have no doubt, Enjoy your 40s. The wheels don't start falling off. My wheels fell off long ago, and I'm only 38. my wheels are falling off too, Leah. Yeah, that statistic's crazy. Like, she should be grateful, but instead, she's living it up in the city. That's all right. It's one of them days. It's a Saturday. You're totally allowed. You're allowed. Youth is wasted on the young. That's true. Yeah, the wheels on my bus aren't going round and round anymore. They're not going round and round no more. They're clunking along, The wheels on this bus are old. At least my body is old. All the arthritis and fibro and myocarditis and tinnitus. I have tinnitus in this ear. It's fucking terrible. Yeah, I it's like, what is the point? It's just a waste of time. Like, she said, I lived as long to witness 1/3 of the U.S. presidents. I know, right? I think about how many presidents have been presidents since I've been alive. It's quite a few. Quite a few. I see that video and immediately think the dregs of Massachusetts. Oh yeah, they are devoted. Yeah, that's what was outside the courthouse. So when we showed up in our blue shirts, to sort of protest that behavior, that circus. I'm sorry. Next time I'll give you the warning here. It was because they went down to the VFW to harass the O'Keefes and the McCabe's at Alberts. And at that point, we were like, yeah, you've crossed the line. And so that's when we started showing up at the courthouse. And so they're like, well, where have you been this whole time? Blah, blah, blah. Not outside a courthouse making a circus out of a murder trial. That's where. And we don't intend on doing that. That's not the reason why we went down there. We went down there because you stepped over the line of harassing the family while they're waiting for a jury to decide on justice for their family and for their loved ones. And it's reprehensible and deplorable. So we had every right to go down there, whether it was the beginning of the trial. We can't sit through every day outside of a courthouse. So I love their excuse of like, they only came for attention or they came to agitate. Sue O'Connell said something like that. The agitators, mind you, by the way, the first day we went down there, I never saw Sue O'Connell. She never saw us. She literally never saw us, but she had the audacity in her commentary when she works for a news station to say that we were just agitators that came to agitate. And it's like, what did we agitate? We have a right to protest as well, right? So we're not allowed to, as a small number of people, but they're allowed to throw water at us, scream obscenities at us, throw things at us, and we're the agitators? No, we came to stand for what we thought was right. Okay. And we had that right just as much as they did. So for Sue O'Connell to say anything about us being agitators was hilarious to me. She never laid eyes on us. So she just said it because that's what she heard. I mean, I don't know why the channel employs her, to be honest. Like, she can keep saying she's a commentator, but when you work for a news station, people are going to take what you're saying as if it's a fact. It isn't a fact. She later had to admit that no, she never saw us. So it's like, you gave the impression that you saw us and that we were just there agitating. We stood at the back of the buffer zone, okay, because that was our first time going there. So we had no idea where we could be. So we went through to see if we could go to like the front, the top of it. There's too many people, too much nonsense. So went back down and found a spot sort of at the back of the buffer zone. And Sue had the audacity to say some ridiculous shit like that. Like, she never even laid eyes on us. So it's like, no, we didn't go there to agitate. We went there to stand up for what we believed in. So for you to not sit there and say that FKR is agitating, okay, that we are agitating by showing our support for the family and for the people who have been harassed, including ourselves, right? And getting justice after they went to the VFW. We told you exactly why. If you had listened to one of your colleagues who we gave statements to, we told them why we came. Like, and then she said something about the same thing, like, well, why didn't they come? Because we're not going to sit outside of a trial and make it a circus. That is not what this is about. We came for one reason, because you stepped over the line. Going down to the VFW to the point where the cops were called, it's a private event. You were told no. No means no, go away. And of course they didn't. And so that is when we drew the line and said, you know what? We're going to go down there and we're going to show our support for the family. That's it. Like, I'm very disappointed in that channel that they allow Sue O'Connell to say such BS and don't correct it in any way. And they don't, like, I don't even know why they employ her. You want commentary? I'll give you commentary all day. You don't even have to pay me. But I certainly am not just going to say shit that, like, I didn't lay eyes on people, but I'm going to say they went there to agitate because that's what I heard. From who? The FKR people? Of course that's what you heard. You don't call them agitators? Watch the video. It's on my channel. Watch the video. Joe gets assaulted, water gets thrown at me. That's assault, right? The cop sees the entire thing and pulls me aside. Like, so come again? Like, what the hell? I don't know about disbarred, Jen, but I do, I think there's a good chance that they could be disbarred or lose their licenses over all of this. Yeah, exactly. If you ignore most of the facts, then, I mean, even that, you can't say factually, because you'd have to ignore things for you to say that. I didn't know I was invited to the party while John is sat right next to her getting directions to go to said party. Yeah, we all know she knew she was invited. She talked to them about it before she ever left the bar. Like, so we know that that's a lie. I adore my chat too. I do. I love all you guys heaps. Betty says she loves us heaps. More and more FKR mob are claiming it's not beyond a reasonable doubt to say she didn't do it. Well, they like to sort of mix up reasonable doubt with any doubt. That's like their problem. They seem to think that any tiny bit of doubt is reasonable doubt. Reasonable doubt has to be reasonable. Like, can't just be a actual bold-faced lie of speculation. It has to be actual reasonable doubt. Like, morning, Francesca. I've been predicting routes Karen Reed took based on mileage that Trooper Paul listed while testifying. I've made some breakthroughs. Sweet. That is awesome. Yeah, I don't know. CPPP. CPPP. Somebody said he likes to pee on his leg to keep himself warm. I don't know why anybody would ever say that, but he said it. I don't know. Monarch. Hi, guys. Way behind, but catching up. But yes, Tony Bruschi is excellent guests on his show. That's cool. I wish they had body cams. I totally wish they had body cams. That would have been amazing. But even detectives don't usually wear body cams anyway. That's the thing. They weren't like regular. I mean, some of them were, but obviously, but like the detectives don't wear body cams, and Canton didn't have any. Yeah, they do get away with a lot. That's for damn sure. Yeah, more like factually guilty is absolutely right, Penny. Absolutely right. From the time she hit John, until the time her car was towed. Her SUV traveled 36 miles. Any place she went has to fall in that 36-mile range. That's interesting. Thank you, Francesca. I know you have more to say about that, I bet. King said she admits she said, "Could I have hit him?" And that wasn't caught on dash cam either. That's true. She did admit saying, like, part of "I hit him." I think she only admitted to saying, "Could I?" because she knew that they probably couldn't hear it when she said it. I got hacked on Facebook 3 years ago. I had to make it not to bloom. Oh, damn. That's terrible, dude. I have not, thank God I've never been hacked on Facebook, because those hackers, like, they really try to get your accounts to try to scam other people. Yeah, the factually innocent phrase drives me nuts too, Joy. And they are innocence fraudsters. It's just it's innocence fraud in its truest form, you know? It just is. Like, that's what I worry about, but they are also unethical and can't believe nothing has happened to them. I can't either, but I do think at the end of this trial we'll see some of that, you know, by the judge. Frank said the only place where the wheels are going is prison, right? That's very true. That is very freaking true. You could say that again, Ellen. Mine too. My joints are made by China like a used car. Mine too. Monarch said, "I'm still waiting for the meme of David Yannetti acting like he's a mafioso when they stormed the courtroom." I know, like, bro, acting like they had no idea that the hearing was. They absolutely did, and that's another talking point I keep seeing FKR say, is that, like, "Oh, well, they didn't know about the hearing. They didn't know." Yes, they did. Yes, they talked about it. They absolutely knew. That is a bold-faced lie. Francesca said, "This means she could not have backtracked onto Cedar Crest the way they came in. She traveled up Fairview past John's body on her way back to John's house." Oh my God. So she had to have passed with the driver's side facing right there. And you didn't see him on the lawn, Karen? Bitching about all these people not seeing him on the lawn. You didn't see him on the lawn, Karen? Like, oh my God. The girls were talking about their wheels falling up when you hit 60. So I said I was riding a unicycle. If I actually tried riding one, I would be in a full body cast. Yeah, probably me too, I'm guessing. I'm guessing me too. I don't know. I've asked about them. I don't know if they have any more. I'm gonna attempt to just make some with my Cricut, because I really just wanted one, like, one that was already, done and made, but I didn't get any answers on that. I asked, so I think I'll just attempt to make a few with my Cricut. I can make a couple people some, because I think it's important to have one to show my support, whether it's in person or not. Hold on, guys. One. Little one alert. Yes, it was a counter protest. But I'm going to attempt to make some shirts, maybe some hoodies, if I can get my hands on some hoodies. I have vinyl. I just got to make sure I have the right colors for it. But I know I have koozies. I have a ton of koozies. I can make those too. But I have koozies. I have glasses. I have t-shirts. I don't know what colors I still have left, though. Obviously, I could buy other things to put it on. But I think I'm going to make my own with the Cricut. Right? Try to get her own law degree in prison, which won't help her because she'll be in prison for the rest of her friggin' miserable life. If you go to the link in the new billboard for John, you can buy them there. So I don't think you can. That's where I asked them. It used to be that you could. I don't think you can anymore. Well, here's the thing. We don't normally go down there during the trial because, again, we don't want to make it about what's outside the courthouse, right? Like, I think maybe during when the jury is deliberating, that's a good time to go down, like we did last time, but we only went down last time because of what they did. We didn't go just because the jury was deliberating. I think the judge is waiting until after the trial to request the sanctions. I think so too. I also think that, like, she'll give sanctions or maybe report them to to the BBO when it's done. Joy said she did say that and was dumb and arrogant to say it again on 2020, our Nightline interview. And let's not forget, she also said he didn't look mortally wounded when after you hit him. Yeah, exactly. She did say he didn't look mortally wounded. Like, what? Who says that? He didn't look. Well, how would you know how he looks? That doesn't make any sense. Like, Jack said, I went to my aunt's in Stoughton yesterday and went up Chapman past Fairview. I was tempted to take a detour down, but I didn't. You could have drove right past the house to just see what it looks like, you know? Yeah, exactly. Advocates, not agitators. Yeah, Sue on the Kool-Aid. Apparently no side likes Sue. I heard them like bitching about Sue the other day. It's kind of like, I don't know what the purpose is with that. Like, they have made a mockery. They have. And I know a lot of you guys like, don't have um, that this kind of stuff in the UK. See you later, Penny. I leave you with peace, my friend. Have a great day. Have an amazing Saturday. Francesca said, basically, I proved that based on the mileage, she could have gone to 34 Fairview before Jen's house that morning. It's well within that 36-mile odometer reading range. That's interesting. LG said, honestly, and this is going to sound lame, but I wish everyone could just respect everyone's opinion on who's guilty or not and not attack each other. But that will never happen, just like politics. I know, right? You guys, they like had that Barbie like cemented into this thing. I kid you not. Like that's what it felt like trying to get that thing apart for her was like they cemented the Barbie into the thing. I agree with you, girl. I mean, I guess it's like politics, but it's like great. Like I don't go around on their X accounts or their Facebook accounts and go, one by one to sit there and trash them. It doesn't, it's a waste of time. Like it is going to be interesting to see if the crowds get any bigger. When it starts, I believe maybe they will, but you never know, right? Like, let's hope so with the new data. They have 8 gigabytes. You never know. It's a good question. I don't know. We haven't really seen Rita. I know that there was a lot when it came to Rita. She doesn't speak to some of her family over this case. I don't know if they've patched that now. But I think she took a bigger step back, and I couldn't help but to feel a little bit bad because when Karen, in all of her wisdom, decided that she was only going to invite YouTubers, some of which who had just start covering the case over the people who lived in the area, who had been defending her since day one, spending all of their vacation time, all their paid time off, took leaves of absences to sit outside that courthouse and to go to standouts and do all these things. She decided in all her infinite wisdom to only invite YouTubers, including some of them that like just started covering it or like, you know what I mean, didn't really have any business being there. She decided they were the people to invite. And then, of course, the YouTubers told everybody else to not be upset about it. Don't be upset about it. She could only invite X amount of people. Easy for them to say, don't be upset about it to these people that's, put their blood, sweat, and tears into, defending Karen when you were invited. If you weren't invited, you'd be throwing a big hissy fit. Let's remember the hissy fit that the Stuart Turtle threw when he didn't get a spot in court. And he tried to blackmail Karen at that point because he was so upset and jealous that he wasn't getting airtime, like Nick Rocco was on court TV, and that he wasn't getting a seat, that Karen wasn't saving him a seat in court. So funny for him or anyone else to tell these people to not be upset. And I think, rightfully so, Rita was upset. She was upset. I don't blame her at all. Hey, we got our first donation of the show. It's from Jack D. Thank you, Jack. $12.34. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much. But I agree. I do. I love my mods. I have awesome mods. We are living in an argumentative time. That is definitely sure. it's not impossible, but it's hard. It's definitely hard. I think that we have a good I think we have a good thing going here, you know? We do. Francesca said definitely, but there's no way she backtracked the way she came. Like Kevin thought the route is a mile too long, which would be 37 miles. That's interesting. That's interesting. Jackie, it's so sad. The internet has damaged people's sense of being kind. Nowadays, people just want to destroy others behind a keyboard. Yeah, and it makes me sad. I'm not going to lie. That shit makes me sad. I would rather people get to know each other in person before passing judgment on them based on what someone else said. I'm just not that person. I'm not going to make judgment on someone I don't know based on someone else's opinion of them. It's just not going to happen. LG said 95% of people who attack me because TV told them to wouldn't ever say or do the shit they did to me to my face. Oh, I 100% agree with that. They do it behind a keyboard, but make no mistake, they wouldn't do it to your face. It's happened to me too, so I 100% agree with that statement. That's right. Until justice comes knocking, and I believe it's coming. It is coming. And of course, I'm tempted to say the FKS are the nastiest. Well, we have some here that are listening in that actually are quite civil and appreciate that they have a place to come where they can talk about this case, you know? And I appreciate that they come here because from what I'm told by them, they tried other channels and they were just immediately attacked. And I don't think that's right either. We shouldn't just be immediately attacking someone who comes in and says, well, I think she's innocent. We should listen and we should answer their questions so that if then we believe she's guilty and they believe she's innocent, maybe we can show them where to look for actual pieces of evidence that might change their mind, you know, instead of just trying to insult them. The only way that we usually boot them is if they come in with their trying to be snarky immediately, or insults or personal attacks on other people. We don't allow that here. You will absolutely get the boot and you will waste your time. Well, yeah, that's the thing. They won't give the, you know, in confrontation when in person. It'll just be on a keyboard because that apparently makes them feel better, makes them feel, you know, bigger with themselves if they think that they can do it on a keyboard. They would never do it to your face. There's plenty of them out there. The same thing here. They would never do that, say that shit to my face. Like they would just make a fake account to do so. It was a vehicle data that showed the trigger events. Yeah. Jack said, I'm looking forward to hearing it all again in the upcoming trial. I'm hoping Hank has it all organized properly. I absolutely think Hank's got this. I think we're going to hear more cohesive, like, and less of the debunking the conspiracy. I think he's going to do it as he like presents the case. And I think it's going to be really good. I saw Pat Brown's analysis. It was really good regarding Karen Reed's documentary and how damaging it is to her case. I saw that one and I commented on it and I thought it was really good. I watched the Pat Brown show. It was really good. I saw it too. Joy said, I wonder if this trial and his association with Alan Jackson will hurt Unetti's practice going forward. I think it will. I've said this I think it absolutely will. You know, Jackson gets to go back to California where they might like the way he acts, and Unetti's stuck here to deal with the consequences of that. He also is the lawyer that is sponsoring these other attorneys and Pro Hoc Vice. Like, I don't think it's going to go well for Unetti. I think he gave up his thing and he should have bailed from this a long time ago. Like, oh, that ID documentary absolutely did a ton of damage. A ton of damage. My theory, Francesca said, little us interruptus. Yeah, that's what we're calling from now on. Little us interruptus. My little minion. Francesca said, same. My theory is she went back between 1241, 1255. Can't work. It doesn't fit within the mileage range. It's too long. But our going back to 34 Fairview before going to Jennifer McCabe's does. And that's where we think it happened, if it happened, is then, you know? How long until Killer Karen is in jail for the murder of John O'Keefe? Well, hopefully soon. Heather said this trial will likely get David Unity more business, not less. Remember the credentials. Yeah, but I also think if he's got BBO complaints and if the judge publicly scolds him at the end of this, I think there could be some severe consequences with that, with his colleagues, with more cases, you know. Francesca said she could have used John's car to go back to check on him, though. I wonder if they looked at his car data. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't think his car moved, though. I think that they found like his car never moved, or I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure they said that it never moved, but I don't know. It's a good point, though. King said she didn't just randomly think hit by a plow. It was an attempt to get ahead of the evidence. She knew he was hit by a vehicle and she knew he would be found under the snow at the side of the road. I agree with that. I think she used the plow as a way to explain away what they might find. I mean, nobody else on planet Earth at 4 or 5 in the morning is like, "Oh, my boyfriend got hit by a plow." If you saw him poke his head in the door, you would think he was still there sleeping it off, or he went to someone else's house to sleep it off. You wouldn't immediately think at 4 or 5 in the morning, like, he was hit by a plow. Like, and then remember, it was only minutes after she went back to John's. Minutes, not hours, not 3 or 4 in the morning, but minutes before she's calling him saying, "John, nobody knows where you are." Well, if you say you saw him walk up and poke his head in the door, why are you saying nobody knows where he is? You know. That doesn't make sense, you know? That just doesn't make any sense. Like, remember, she didn't just say he's dead. She mentioned a very specific death, which turned out to be the same theory as the Commonwealth. Yeah, it did. You got me listening from Zimbabwe. Welcome. Welcome, MJ Baker. Welcome from Zimbabwe. Hold on, guys. Hold on. The best advertisement is always word of mouth. Yeah, that's very true. But also, I think that's also the same for this show, right? Word of mouth, you know? Yeah, Zimbabwe. Hey, welcome. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Let the process play out, then protest if you don't like the results. Yeah, I mean, you can always do that too. Jack wants to know what part of Zimbabwe. Oh, sorry. Francesca said I did consider that, but if she used John's car at 12:41, the tracks would be covered up by the next ring video at 5:07 a.m. Interesting. I mean, covered over by 4 hours worth of snow. I didn't I don't like Rita, but that was horrible. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. Rita wasn't good enough for her and Karen's snobby family. Well, I think that's Karen showed everybody what she was trying to do in that moment, which was she only gave a shit about YouTubers and people pushing this story that she was innocent over the people who had been sitting there and supporting her and giving appreciation to those people forever. And then they knew they fucked up afterwards when they were like, okay, now we're going to do an event for those people eventually. And I don't even think they ever did, but like that was what they announced afterwards. And it's like, oh, only because now you're being criticized, because there was many people who weren't invited that should have been, that had spent many hours, doing this since the very beginning. And you're inviting people who just started covering it on YouTube from like New York, or like, you know what I mean? Like it didn't make any sense, but it absolutely showed them who Karen was. Showed them, and she didn't give a shit about these people who were standing out there. She only cared about people who are going to talk about it, who are going to get that word out there if you had a platform, and the biggest donors. That's all she cared about. We didn't have anybody the first time, but I think we do now. We have a guy who's going to testify for Ring. And yeah, it is because she wanted the YouTubers there. It's just sad, you know? I'd rather rescue working dogs. Yep. And find them departments across the country to be donated to for police canines and spread my time bashing. Yeah, it's just a waste of time, in my opinion. Why waste that time? Yeah, the YouTube click. I mean, that still exists now. I would rather work with other creators on this case than have us all separate. But I cannot force other creators to want to work with other people. It doesn't just happen on the FKR side. It happens throughout this entirety of YouTube, because if you don't have, so I don't have, 40,000 subs. So if I don't have 40,000 subs, then I don't have more subscribers to offer another channel. They don't want to like collaborate unless you have something to offer them. That's not the way I run my channel. I don't run my channel that way. But most of the time that's how YouTubers run it. If you don't have subscribers to offer them by going on their show, then they don't, if you have less or you're a smaller channel, they want nothing to do with it. And that's really just sad. And we can choose to not live like that. We can just choose to not do that shit. Like, it's not hard, you know? Like, it's insane to me that they think that it's okay behavior. That's what gets me. It's like, we're grown adults and you guys think that that's okay behavior. How would, and they don't stop and think about, like, how would they like it if it was done to them? Like, how would you like it if this entire side was doing all that same things to you? Do you think that would be normal, or would you be going to the cops every day asking why nothing's being done? Would you be screaming from the rooftops, it's not normal behavior? It's like the lack of understanding that that kind of behavior is deplorable is where it gets me. I'm just like, what? I do believe that proper justice will be served. And I feel like even if by some miracle it doesn't and she gets found not guilty, I think that she and him will be drained of any resource they had throughout this trial, with civil suits for the rest of their miserable lives. Like, I'd never post socially what I think about the case. I could be free Karen Read or anti Karen Read. They don't need to know, and I don't have to say, no, you don't. Absolutely, you don't. I've tried to have conversations with free Karen Read. They never respond to the points I make. They switch to butt dials and solo cups and crash daddy, science and physics nonsense. Yeah, it is usually all the same three things, which are the butt dials, which mean nothing. Butt dials don't prove she's innocent. They don't prove anybody else is guilty. They're butt dials, right? Crash Yeti, science and physics. Science is physics, as Frank has pointed out. And the solo cups, like, okay, while not ideal, was what they had at the time. Doesn't change the fact that it's John's blood, does it? No, it doesn't. Okay, then. Like, damn it, Chris, we don't want him. You have to take him back. You have to take him back. And that's exactly it. And I'm glad you're striving for that, to get the actual data. You can get some of it from the first trial that they showed in the first trial, and in some of the court documents. You definitely can get some there. But definitely don't take anyone's word, not even mine. Not even mine. Like, yeah, it's in craziness. Like, I hope so too. Me too. I just want answers about what she actually did after hitting John. Yeah, I want to know too. I think we all want to know, but I have good inkling that in that 8 gigabytes of data that we're going to get some information, you know? Like, definitely going to get some. Diana said Yannetti has to do cleanup on aisle 4. Karen Read's team has been declared as unscrupulous and sneaky. Doesn't go well with potential clients in the future, especially if they lose. Yeah, no, because then they're going to argue, not that they won't anyway, but they're going to argue ineffective counsel. They're going to argue that one way or another. That's usually how everybody files an appeal, is ineffective counsel first. But it's probably old Frankentruck going down Fairview. I'm not going to lie. I do like the name Frankentruck. I'm not going to lie. Frankentruck is funny. Like, Francesca, I did feel a little bad for Rita, but she was truly awful in whipping up the mob. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I agree with you. I did feel a little bad just because I have empathy and sympathy, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, did you see yourself? Like, did you not see how some of that is not okay? Like, maybe she rethought her behavior and that's why she stepped back. I don't know. Yes, thank you for all of you guys being here. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I haven't seen Rita show up to anything, so I don't know if she shows up anymore. Not that I've seen, but that doesn't mean she's not there. Joy said, "My king, I've always thought the snowplow story was an act of profound self-snitching because she knew he was dead and then he was hit by her vehicle. I think she's devious." Anyone? Question mark. Yeah, I definitely agree with you that the plow thing, in my opinion, was more of her trying to cover up. When Karen Read told Aiden what to say to Jen, I started questioning his alliance to her. Karen was running the show from behind the scenes. Most of you know this. I don't know if you do, Lisa, but back when I thought Karen was innocent in the beginning, she also tried to tell me what I couldn't talk about on my show. And that is when the first red flag of mine came about. She sent someone else to say, well, Karen doesn't want you talking about this. And I said, block, immediate block. It was about the Procter and Buchanan DNA that nobody had been talking about yet. Nobody really knew about it yet, but I had gotten some inside information on it. And, oh, Karen doesn't want you talking about this. If you care about Karen, you won't talk about this. Well, that's what they mistaken me for, someone that cared about Karen specifically. I cared about the case, the truth, not Karen specifically. So I'm not going to shill for someone, and I'm not going to not. The thing is you were like, if you shared something that might have made Karen look bad, they didn't want it shared. They would delete it from their pages, whether it was Facebook, there was two groups, they would delete it immediately. So if it made Karen look bad, even though it was a fact of the case, they would delete it. They would not let anybody post it. They didn't want anybody talking about it. And I did not follow that rule. I talked about what I got and the information that I got. And so that was an instant block for me. I was like, yeah, no, insta block. You're not going to, nobody's going to tell me what I can and can't say. And I'm not just going to stay with all the things that make her look good. And that's half of the problem, is that's all people were fed in those groups, where everything that they thought was going to be part of this quote conspiracy that made her look, anything that made her look bad or pieces of evidence that showed she was guilty were not allowed to be posted. That's a problem. You can't be an investigative journalist, but you're refusing to allow people to post things because it might make Karen look bad, or that information might, is not a good look. It doesn't matter. It's part of the case. It's part of the information. Everybody should have questioned that. Yet it went right over their heads. To this day, they still don't realize that. Why is nothing ever posted that looks bad for her? Because it's not allowed. Like, yeah, that text. We've talked about that one quite a few times, although it's inadmissible because it's attorney-client privilege. But Reed did tell Yannetti, I don't know, I didn't know I hit him that hard. I've talked about that one quite a few times. Deb said, hit the like button. Yes, please. Everybody hit the like button. Like, subscribe. If you want to donate, you can do so on Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. The information is on this, but I'm going to take this down. I know it's bigger, and it's on this little ticker down here that scrolls by. So you can always get the information there on that little ticker at the bottom that scrolls by. The main data point I have trouble with is, why wasn't the scene or house wrapped in crime tape? What was the reason it wasn't done? Oh, I can answer this. I can answer this quickly. The reason it wasn't done is because they attempted their first attempt at it. The wind was howling so loud that the tape would have just blown away. So when they first even attempted to try to put tape around something, they saw it going like this. And even Karen herself said that the wind was howling and she could barely hear people like just feet away from her across the lawn, the first responders. Like, you had to be right next to someone, that the wind was blowing so hard. They're in the middle of a blizzard. So they realized that tape was not going to stay up. There was no point. And it was starting to come down more. So like, you're in the middle of a blizzard. They didn't put tape up or a tent up because it was going to blow away. Like, that's why. And tape wasn't going to stop anything. Tape, tent, none of that's going to stop the blizzard. It's not going to stop the snow from coming. It's not going to do anything. So even putting tape up wouldn't have done a damn thing. Like, they didn't put it up because it was going to blow away. The wind was really bad that day. Like King said, Francesca said, she poured her heart and soul into Free Karen Reed and then basically got pooped out for her efforts. That must have hurt her feelings a lot. Yeah, and that's what I feel bad, that her feelings probably were hurt, and I don't blame her. I don't blame all the people whose feelings was hurt. That's shitty, LG said, Rita seems like a passionate person and has a giant heart. I'd drink a beer with her. I'd drink a beer with anyone as long as they're not a shitty person. As long as you're not a shitty, volatile, angry, mean person, I'll give anybody a shot. But if you are one of them type people, I want nothing to do with it. Jack said, tell them you don't have 40,000 subs, but you have me. That'll get them. I agree with you. It is frustrating dealing with all the egos. So I just don't. It's just that simple. I just don't. I just do my own thing, and that's that, Except they don't need to ring to introduce it before I'm hopeful it's regarding deleted footage. Well, they have the ring person now, so Rita's evil. I don't feel bad for her. She is helping a murderer go free. I hope karma gets her, and she will learn in the end when she gets dropped by Karen. I will say, I told you so. I think that Karen has already showed that she was dropping those people and that she could care less about them. I think that was sort of a hit of reality for them, unfortunately. Did you hear Yannetti explanation in the first trial on Karen Reed moving vehicle to Dighton? But Your Honor, he's not her boyfriend anymore because he's dead. Yes. I mean, so what? But say something ridiculous. That's so crazy. Like, that is such a stretch to say something like that and expect that the judge is gonna be like, oh, well, is that it? They wouldn't have if they stipulated to it. Yes, that's true. If they stipulated to it as a fact, they wouldn't need like an expert for it. A local who poured her heart and energy into this and was basically told to stay in her lane. Yeah, she wasn't important enough, right? She wasn't important enough, and that's, Karen didn't see her as important enough. She didn't have a YouTube channel to blast out this conspiracy theory. It's that simple, unfortunately. MJ said, this is such a rabbit hole case. Always something new. I hope after all the torture I mean, though we can get a guilty verdict, otherwise I think some of us would be extremely upset if there wasn't a guilty verdict, but I do have faith that justice is coming. I was free can read until common sense and evidence changed my mind. I think that's it, right? The actual evidence is what changed my mind, and common sense and some of the red flags. Like, all of it put together is what changed my mind. Like, just because she has an opinion and that's not yours doesn't mean she's evil, LG said. I think we all have opinions, Like, they're like assholes. We all have them, right? I do think some of the things that she did was a little overboard, but I think ultimately I never saw Rita attack anybody online, although I didn't really follow her, so maybe somebody else could fill me in on that, but I didn't see, as long as, like, do I think it's a good look to be out there with pom-poms? No, probably not. But do I think you're helping a murderer try to go free? Yeah. But if you actually believe that that person is innocent, right? And you think you're doing a good thing, then in your brain, you're doing this good thing, right? You're standing up for what you believe in. Because at one point that's what I thought, until the pieces of evidence and common sense and red flags told me otherwise, right? So it's hard for me to not feel bad for some of these people, because I don't think some of them have realized, like, they've been lied to, they've been duped. And I think it's going to take more than just some of us telling them that, unfortunately. Like, I don't know. Francesca said, strategically, it makes no sense for them to force Ring to testify, though, and not stipulate to the footage because they want Ring to stay very far away, LOL. I mean, I don't know what, I mean, they can't, I'm dying to know what they're actually going to stipulate to. Yeah, some of them will be. Some of them. I agree, Francesca, that's better practice to stipulate as to these things. It will be faster, but we know that they don't want to stipulate to anything. It is good that you had an open mind. Yeah, I mean, I think friggin' politics is another one of those things where it's just like a never fucking running, like, argument between people. If you want to talk politics, you can expect to have an argument. You know what I mean? I think the whole political system is junk, and there's a ton of corrupt people in there just doing whatever they want because they're in their ivory towers. They have money. We don't. Like, every single one of them, no matter what party you're in, is making over $1 million or is worth over $1 million. That should tell you something. They don't care about us. None of them on either side. They care about their friends and their family and their whatever. Like, we're last on the list. Francesca said, they said they'll try to streamline the second trial more, but stipulating to more things, which is why I'm really hopeful about the Ring witness. Let's hope so, because if they could just stipulate to some basic shit, then maybe we could skip that shit. You know what I'm saying? They tried with the tape, but the high winds made it impossible. Yes. They tried telling you what to say, made sense. Yeah. Well, why they started coming for me was because I knew about Aiden and him cheating on his wife with 2, and then there was a third woman that found me like a week after that. So there was 3. And because I knew that information, I was public enemy number 1. So that's part of the reason. Heather said, I would love to see big testimony from Ring, but I doubt it will happen. They still have to be listed to get the videos in, though, unless there's a stipulation. I think you'll still hear them testify to, like, how Ring works, Jack said Turtle Boy has made a disgrace of himself. He's ultimately going to regret his stance in this case, but he's in too deep now to even take one step back. Yeah, he is way in too deep. Yep. Naira said, okay, that's the type of turn info I was looking for. Yeah, you're totally welcome, dude. See, that's the thing. They make this big deal out of it. Well, why didn't they put tape up? Well, why didn't they put a thing up? But why didn't they do this? And why didn't they do that? And it's like, there are actual, like, real life explanations for them that are not nefarious and that isn't a conspiracy. Like, are we saying it was a perfect investigation? No, but we're talking about a small town that hadn't had a murder in 25 years. Like, they didn't have, evidence cups to collect blood because the state police take over jurisdiction in the whole of Massachusetts for any unattended deaths. So, like, murder investigations, things like that would fall onto the state police. The problem is the state police couldn't get there fast enough because of the conditions outside. So Canton was forced to sort of just be there, until the Mass State Police could get there. And the problem is Canton PD is a small PD, dude. We were under a state of emergency. There was accidents everywhere, and the police couldn't just sit there. They had to go and deal with other things that were happening, and there was only so many of them on in a state of emergency, in a blizzard, like, and the state police were slowly making their way towards them in this blizzard. Like, there were reasons things were happening the way they were. Unfortunately, they just don't want to hear the actual answer. They want a giant conspiracy out of it that doesn't exist. I think Judge C would have let in the deleted footage info if it wasn't hearsay, with Ring testifying it won't be. It's relevant evidence if she deleted footage, and that can be proven. Betty said it was really bad weather out, horrid that morning. That's why they went back to get more evidence as different times. Plus, the snow hid the evidence, so we need to wait. Yeah, they needed to wait until the snow melted. Yeah, that. Joey said, Deb, you couldn't believe Yannetti said that remark about her taking her car and stuff out of John's 10 minutes after he died, reasonable behavior because he wasn't her boyfriend anymore. I couldn't believe it either. This is crazy to me. Like, he even said that. Like, what? They needed to go through proper chain of command to even dispatch cert. Yep. It's like a whole process, It's a whole process. Hey, Nevin. Blizzard. It was a blizzard. Saying, I don't know. I didn't know I hit him that hard. It's very difficult to could I have hit him text leak that came out. Yeah, well, she said, I didn't know I hit him that hard. That was the text, but that's inadmissible because it was between her and her attorney, so you can't use it. Which part of blizzard conditions does Free Karen Reed not understand when they criticize handling of the crime scene? I guess some of these people maybe don't live in the state. They have no idea what it's like. I don't know. I just have to believe that they don't have any idea what it's like to have these kind of storms. Like, or yeah, I think maybe they did. Like, I do think that, like, maybe they watch CSI too much. I don't think anything constitutes the harassment at all. I don't think anybody deserves it. That's for damn sure. Yannetti started this whole defense of Karen saying things like it was a tragic accident and no criminal intent, and then AJ comes in and she's framed. Yeah, that's the problem I have. I think AJ came in and all of a sudden it was a giant conspiracy. I wondered if Proctor would speak out after this trial regarding that incriminating text. If he can't ever be Leo again, what's he got to lose by spilling the beans? I don't know, more harassment probably of his family. I think it's very clear why he said what he said. I mean, also, but you don't want to, like, get in the middle of a case until it's over. He might speak after the case is over, but you don't want to sort of get in the mud while it's still happening. Yeah, he talked about a lot of things that I think kind of could have been left out, but let's hope that, well, not hope. I think I know that Hank will get this done. Like, yeah, well, that's the other thing. You calling the cops all the time to your house, and then you're saying they're all corrupt. It's like, well, are they corrupt? Why are you calling them to your house? They're corrupt. I mean, we've seen a lot of that going around. We're talking about, like, the chief calling of the police himself to Stuart Turtle. He loves calling the police. He loves it. But he says they're all corrupt, but it's his favorite thing to do is call the police and try to lie to get people in trouble because he doesn't like them. Like, that's one of his, like, MOs. It's like, bro, come on. I freaking hate autocorrect. Hate it. Hate it. Freaking hate it. Which is what the defense attorneys do. But what bothers me is how the public eats it up without critical thinking. Yeah, that's the part that bugs me. Yeah, he can talk about it now, but I don't think he will, Francesca. I think he'll wait until, like, after, if he can. Like, he could get sued because, well, he can't talk about the text because that's attorney-client privilege. So he wouldn't be able to, unless it gets brought up in the trial. Like, no, I don't think he can talk about it because there's a reason why they had to stop looking in the phone, and it's because it was attorney-client privilege. So they have to act like they never saw that. I think in the context of, like, him being, if it was in his, like, report, he would be able to talk about it, but, like, pertaining to just that, and maybe if it's mentioned in trial, which I doubt it will be because it has no relevance and it could bias the jury, it could prejudice the jury. So, I mean, I don't think he can. He was officially on duty and it was attorney-client privilege, so he's really not allowed to, even if he's not working for them anymore. Like, yeah, you could be civilly sued, I guess, like, because it's protected information. Like, I don't know. That's a sticky situation, If anyone, I think, oh, right here, Leah would have the answer for you. Here she is, right here. Would have the answer for you because she used to be a state trooper. She would know. Yeah, he would get sued. Yeah, that's what I thought. This was a simple case until the defense decided to write a fictional story. You'd think that would be obvious to everyone, but no, here we are. Oh my God. Proctor didn't flip anywhere. I love when people make ridiculous videos about things that didn't happen. Do you know when the first piece of taillight was found and where? The first piece was found by Canton PD, as far as I know. They found like white pieces of taillight and then glass in the yard with the snowblower. And then the CERT team found more later on. And then more pieces were found over the next weeks as they drove by the house and checked as the snow melted. Yeah, I guess you kind of are, but because if you don't want to be civilly sued, even if you're not working for them anymore. Like, critical thinkers like you and me note the change in strategy, telling because it can't be both. Yeah, I think she did. And so Leah's talking about how he can be sued still. When you swear under oath, you cannot quit or get fired and spill about client privilege stuff. That's an open lawsuit. Hope he's doing okay. My heart goes out to him knowing the BS being front page news story. Yeah, you have been there, and it's not okay. It's just a way to sully someone and their information and their name, and it's terrible. He talks about stuff as like that mistrial is a real possibility. He wouldn't do that. Yeah, well, I don't think you want to yeah. Yep. She was a state trooper, so she could definitely talk to whether it can happen or not, Hey, listen, we're all allowed to have mistakes. You want to know why? We're human. We're human. Yannetti cannot ethically reveal anything she ever told him, but it's suspicious to see Yannetti coming out of the gate with accident. And now we all hear about this ridiculous, quote, fight, death. And also, how's that happen in 4 seconds? We know John's phone never goes in the house, right? We know that just seconds after Karen backs up, John's phone stops moving forever in the place that he is found. It's as good as a snapshot in time. The only time they have is 4 seconds. So you're going to tell me he got beat up and bit by a dog with no dog DNA, and he only got beat up on one side of his body, not clipped by a car on one side of his body, but beat up on one side of his body. And remember, they were saying that scratch on his nose was because it was broken, which it was not broken, we know. And now we know that Karen said she pulled the piece of glass out of his nose where that scratch was. So which one is it? Like, I feel like they should have been forced to turn over their phones so long ago. And I do believe that, yeah, you'd be an accomplice, I love having her experience. I love it. She's also a good person. So there's that. It's not like the defense team got paid millions to say whatever just to get her off. Oh, wait, they did. Listen, it's a Saturday. You're allowed to have that tough day, Jack. You're allowed. Yeah, autocorrect is the bane of my existence. I shut it off, and even then, I make spelling mistakes because, like, my fat ass fingers and my tiny ass keyboard. It happens. It happens. All right, rapid fire last minute questions. We've been on 3 hours and 25 minutes, and I am ready to take a bathroom and a lunch break. So, fire rapid my last minute questions here so I can answer them for you guys. Let me make sure there's nothing I need to read and say thank you for. Oop. Hello, phone. McFly? No? Freezing? Yeah? No? Yeah? No? No? Yeah? No? God damn it. I'm surprised. Come on. I know you guys have something you want to question about. Oh, now it's gonna update? No? What's happening? Oh, this piece of crap phone. I literally can't. I will pop into my, after this, though, I'll pop into my Discord in maybe 10 minutes or so. So we can continue this conversation in text or voice chat in about 10 minutes. Is it wet or underwater if you're there when it rains? I know, it's a good goddamn question. It's a good goddamn question. You're totally welcome. I will be live Monday. I do have usually have a Sunday morning show, so you guys will see me tomorrow morning too. I just figured you guys have been so good to me this week. Like, I would pop in on a Saturday, and there was some stuff that decided to happen, about, Video Jesus being attacked by TV, and there's someone else he's, going after with his bold-faced lies about people. And that was happening all while I was like getting ready to go live. So, like, Francesca wants to ask Leah if she's heard of other troopers getting fired for the things Proctor did. It seemed pretty extreme since he had a good record before that. And the trial will begin, Angela, like right when the jury is like after that jury is seated, like they would swear the jury in and they would start usually like a day or two later, you know, like day or two later is when they would start. So I do have a funny bone flavored coffee. It's all but like melted at the bottom now, but it's my favorite. I get a funny bone, extra mocha, extra cream, extra sugar. It's delicious. I bet bald guys do have hair in their dreams. That's okay. You can put it on 2 times, right? 2 times as fast, and you can watch it. Loved you too, Deb. But you put it on 2 times, Jack. If you put it on 2 times, it'll talk faster, but like you'll get through it faster, you know? I'm sorry, Joy. I'm sorry. You got snow? It was like almost it was 69 here yesterday. It was so amazing. Monday. They said they are continuing jury selection Monday. So not Tuesday, Monday. Monday. You're welcome. Always. Freak, can you put that Discord link into the chat, please, for Nevin? Leah said, one thing I learned being employed by the state police for a decade is you can love the job, but the job will never love you back. Those words were told to me by a captain years ago. And I think I've even said to you guys that I heard some words of wisdom, and that is who I heard it from. She told me that a while ago, and I said, oh, that makes perfect goddamn sense. Like, it was the drinking in the cruiser text evidence that really hung him on. Oh, damn. It's like, dude, he was a good cop. It's just unfortunate, just as you were. It's just very unfortunate, you know? You the boob diggity. You guys, the boo, all that in a bag of chip chops. They definitely didn't. And they didn't love her back either. I think that's kind of like the shitty part of like it all is like good cops are dealing with these consequences. Like, do they have to vent? Like, bottom line, they gotta say shit. Like, how else are they gonna? You know? Come on. She called him a pervert too. Yeah, she did. She screamed, "You're a pervert!" He called him and left a voicemail. You know. Just FYI, 1,400 protests across the country, over 600,000 involved. Be careful, stay vigilant, and it's in all states. Chicago has literally taken over the streets. Oh boy. Everybody stay safe. We want everybody to be safe, you know? Like, yeah, we want her to move it along. That's exactly what a judge is supposed to do. So let's get it done, y'all. Like, they have 10 jurors now. We can hope that opening statements will try Friday. They're going for 16 jurors. I don't know why. I feel like they definitely should be going for more, but they're only going for 16 again. I feel like that's a mistake, but won't let them make that mistake, I guess. I don't know. I feel like they should have went for at least 18, 20, like 18 at the very least, but definitely 20. Like, you know, it is what it is. There's not much we can do about it, but I do feel like by this upcoming week, they will have seated all the jurors and getting ready to do this. Like, oh, I know, right? The banter in the barracks, like, you got to think about it. It's got to be some locker talk. It's like not, you know, like, come on, like, watch transparency. All right. I love all your stinking faces. If per usual, if I get any oh, we got $10 for breadstick money from LG. Thank you, Leah. I appreciate you, my friend. If I get any other donations when I am not live anymore, I shall read them the next time I am live, which is tomorrow morning because I always have my Sunday Fun Day show. So I love all your stinking faces. I'll see some of you over in Discord in like 10-15 minutes. And I'll see the rest of you tomorrow. You guys can always message me on X, Facebook. You can email me at twistedtragedies3@gmail.com. You can like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. You can share the video with people who don't know we exist. We got some people finding us lately, which is awesome to see. So, you know, oh my God, attorneys talking shit about their clients. Abso-friggin-lutely. Oh, yeah, they are. They're definitely like, listen, my friend used to speak Vietnamese and she's like, dude, you know what they just said? I'm like, well, it was his own personal phone. That's the thing. It wasn't on his, like, you know, his work phone. They just thought that they had a right to it because he had used it for work. But it's like if your boss calls you on your regular phone, you're going to answer it. So like that's technically work. I mean, semantics, really. All right. I love your stinking faces. If you want to donate to the channel, I can read it on the next live if I get it when I'm no longer live. If you're on my replay crew, I love your stinking faces as well. You guys are just as important to this channel as my live chat. I will see you all Sunday Fun Day tomorrow morning, and the rest of y'all in Discord. And you guys can contact me at any time on Discord. You just have to tag my name and it'll tell me that you guys are asking a question or need me. So I love y'all, stinking faces. See y'all later. Bye.